Now, statistically, 30,000 flights are delayed every single day. And while a flight delay may give you benefits such as a free coupon for a sandwich and Coke, it can also make you lose your connecting flight, train, or a Taylor Swift concert if that's what you were after when boarding a plane. Is there a way to avoid flight delays? Well, while they might seem like a total gamble, there are some tricks to boost your odds of getting to your destination without a hitch. According to weather expert Chris Bianchi, it's best to steer clear of booking flights on summer evenings. Seriously, just don't do it. Late afternoon and evening flights during the summer months in the U.S. are notorious for delays due to typical weather chaos. Why is that, you ask? Well, it all comes down to thunderstorm ingredients: moisture, unstable air, and a way for that air to start moving. In the summer, the sun heats everything up and makes the atmosphere unstable. The warm air near the ground rises, cools down as it goes up, and presto, you get clouds that may just decide to throw a thunderstorm party. Unfortunately, the guest list includes your flight delay. Conversely, you can choose the best time to fly. There's no guarantee your flight won't be delayed, but you can snatch the best price at least. So if you book a flight for midweek, let's say Wednesday, it'll probably help you save up to 17% of the initial price. That's around $56 if we speak of domestic flights, not to mention transatlantic ones. But it's not just about the day you book. Timing is crucial. Catch flights early or late. Think 4 a.m. and red-eyes for better deals and fewer crowds. Avoid flying from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. and from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. if you can. Long story short, the best days to fly are Tuesday and Wednesday, and the worst day is Sunday. And don't forget the summer season. If you want to have a decent price for your vacay destination, make sure to book that well beforehand. So, you managed to secure the best prices for your tickets. Is there anything important you should know about your luggage? Yep. Once you arrive at your accommodation, you should immediately toss your suitcase into the bathtub. While it might sound a bit weird, it's actually pretty smart. And the biggest reason for that is bed bugs. Those creepy little pests love to hide in beds, couches, and even your clothes. And they're all about munching on human blood. Ooh. If they're hanging out in your hotel room, they gladly hitch a ride back home with you in your luggage. So, you should avoid putting your bags on soft surfaces or the bed when you first get to your room. Bedbugs usually chill out on mattresses, box springs, and in furniture cracks. If there's no bathtub in your room, just keep your suitcase in the bathroom, as they're way less to have these little bloodsuckers. You can leave your luggage there while you give your room a good look over for any unwanted guests, or just keep it in the bathroom for your entire stay. Another weird thing you should totally do in a hotel is stashing a towel by your hotel room door. You see, wrapping a small towel around your door safety latch can really add to your peace of mind. Just pop the towel around the latch and lock it up. This tiny step makes it a lot harder for anyone to get in unexpectedly. And to make it easier to remember, just keep that towel right by your door so you can use it every time you head back to your room. If you ever wanted to know what happens to your baggage when you're on board a plane, the short answer is nobody knows, not even the staff. Baggage is sorted automatically. Scanners scan the barcode and sort the baggage according to its destination. The three main tasks of airport baggage handlers are to move your bags from the check-in area to the gate, to move them from one gate to another when you have a connecting flight, and to move your bags from the plane to the baggage claim area. So, if your baggage doesn't move fast enough, it can be late for your connecting flight. Or the exact opposite. Your bag can get to your destination before you do, because you're stuck at passport control. Now, some people also claim that you might experience some problems if you forget to tear off old stickers showing a different destination. There's an opinion that, in this case, the scanner might send your baggage to the wrong country. Oops. So, you arrive at the airport eagerly anticipating a well-deserved break from work, park your car in the lot, and discover the steep fees for leaving it there. Why is it so expensive? Airport parking facilities operate like any other business. The expenses involved include the cost to the land, the construction of the parking area, and ongoing maintenance, all of which can add up significantly. Ultimately, someone has to cover all these costs. Furthermore, the convenience of parking close to the airport contributes to the higher prices. If you're not willing to spend extra for this added convenience, consider taking a taxi instead. By the way, the world's most expensive airport parking will make you shell out around $500 a week. It's located in Doha, Qatar, and it's earned accolades for the top-notch quality it provides. I mean, it's not surprising for this money. So, you may find it a bit weird that the flight crew is all about where your window shades are. But there's a good reason. They want to help everyone get used to the natural light outside. Plus, it's super important for a smooth boarding and deplaning experience. In case things go sideways during an emergency, you definitely won't want to be blinded when trying to get out of the plane. Also, keeping the window shades up during takeoff and landing lets the ground crew keep an eye on what's happening inside the cabin. If something goes wrong, like a fire, they can spot it right away and jump into action. If the shades are closed, they might miss crucial signs, which can slow down their response when every second counts. When you're going through security, put your stuff on the conveyor belt in an order that will make it easy to repack later. Start with your backpack so that you can toss things right in as they come out. If you have a laptop or any pricey gadgets, stick them in the middle or in the second tray to keep them safe. Basically, you need to put your valuable stuff between your personal items in the first tray, and your carry-on should be the last to go. This will keep your electronics from getting mixed up with other people's stuff. When it comes to packing, you should totally think about just going with a carry-on for a change. The freedom you get is amazing. And even if you decide to check a bag, definitely bring a carry-on with you. Pack a whole outfit in there. While stolen or lost baggage isn't really common, only 3% of luggage doesn't make it to the destination. Baggage delays happen all the time. So, having a backup outfit will save you from looking like a hot mess while you wait for your stuff to show up. We all love snagging those emergency exit rows for some extra legroom, but let's chat about which seats you might want to steer clear of. First off, avoid the seats directly in front of the emergency exits. They usually don't decline. And if you're eyeing those seats in the very back, keep in mind they don't recline either. But hey, there are some perks to sitting in the back. You'll be super close to the bathroom, and there's a good chance you might get a whole row to yourself since most folks usually skip the last row. Oh, and if you're looking for tips on seat choices for different planes, there are plenty of websites that can help you find the best spots and warn you about the ones to avoid, like those without windows. So there. So the average American family spends over $1,000 a month on groceries, but that can vary based on location and family size. In California, families shell out around $297 a week on average, making it the most expensive state for groceries. Compared to that, the Midwest appears to be a deal, with families spending less than $240 a week, but it's still costly. Grocery prices have risen about 20% in the last 4 years, and let's be honest, supermarkets are scientifically designed to separate you from your hard-earned dough. When you enter the supermarket, you can instantly see a whole bunch of healthy options right off the bat, no matter what chain you go to. It's meant to make you feel good. If you start off by grabbing some veggies, you won't feel that guilty about throwing some junk food into your cart later. Also, there's this primacy effect. It means that we tend to remember and give more importance to the stuff we see first. Think bright colors, vibrant fruits, and no towering shelves blocking the scene. It's a little oasis of calm and comfort right when you step in. You know those adorable kid-sized shopping carts at the supermarket? As tempting as they are, it's best to leave the little ones at home. When you're flying solo, you can browse at your own speed and make smarter shopping decisions. Bringing along friends or kiddos can turn your quick trip into a never-ending adventure. And let's be real, you might end up with a bunch of stuff you didn't even want. You know how in the grocery store they always set up the essentials, like bread, milk, and eggs, in their own little corner? It's all about playing with our brains and that sneaky thing called loss aversion. Loss aversion means we feel worse about missing out on something than we do about snagging something new. So, when those must-have items are tucked away, it forces us to wander the aisles. And while we're on our little treasure hunt for our basic groceries, our eyes might just end up landing on some other goodies we didn't even know we needed. Imagine strolling through the aisles of your go-to store when suddenly, bam! You catch a whiff of something ridiculously tasty, like the heavenly scent of fresh bread or smoky roasted chicken. But before you toss everything that smells amazing into your cart, let's chat about what's really going on here. A lot of stores pump out delicious scents to lure you into spending more cash. So, while that aroma might feel like a warm hug from the universe, take a second to ask yourself, does your cart really need that item, or is it just the smell pulling your strings? The products on the shelves right at your eye level seem to jump out at you, and there's a good reason for that. It turns out that where products are placed on the shelves can really sway your shopping choices. Studies have shown that items positioned at eye level are much more likely to catch the shopper's attention and end up in their carts. Now, supermarkets typically organize shelves into 4 levels: the stoop level at 0 to 3 feet, where kids can reach, the touch level at 3 to 4 feet, the eye level at 4 to 6 feet, and the reach level at 6 feet plus. You might need a ladder to get there. The eye level is the buy level. Brands and manufacturers are super keen to snag that sweet spot, often paying big bucks for that, sometimes up to 50% of their promotional budget. And make sure to pick foods that are in the middle or deep on the shelves. They're usually fresher. Those nearing their expiration date are at the front. Next time you're cruising through a store, pay attention to what's playing in the background. If the tunes are slow and smooth or catchy enough to get your foot tapping, watch out. You might be walking right into a shopping trap. Stores love to mess with the music to slow you down and keep you browsing longer. Supermarkets are like time capsules, with no windows or clocks inside. It's totally by design. This crafty setup helps retailers boost those sales by encouraging us to linger a little bit longer and throw in a few more impulse buys. Just touching something can trick our brains into thinking it's ours. That's why you've got to tread lightly when you're out shopping. Don't go fondling everything unless you're ready to adopt it. You could end up falling head over heels for that adorable stuffed animal or that sweet-smelling candle you don't need. So, a little advice: keep your hands to yourself until you're ready to say, "I do." End caps are the best when it comes to grabbing attention. Retailers play the mind game with shoppers, using a little trick called cognitive heuristics. You've probably noticed those colorful and flashy end cap displays that seem to scream, "Buy me!" These displays tap into the availability heuristic, making you think that whatever's featured on that end cap is super popular or top-notch quality. It's no surprise that a survey found nearly 44% of people remember getting sucked in by those end caps, with almost half of grocery stores decked out in these attention magnets. Nothing is free in this world, not even those small ham samples you're offered in a supermarket. Here's how it works. Once you pop that scrumptious sample into your mouth, they've got you. You'll probably be itching to grab a whole package of whatever tasty treat they're serving up. Say goodbye to your money. Most grocery stores are designed to nudge you to the right when you stroll in. But hey, why not be a bit of a rule breaker and head left instead? Your wallet will thank you. You see, our brains are wired to take things in from left to right, like when we read. So when we force ourselves to break that habit by veering right, it messes with our thinking. This little brain hiccup can lead to those sneaky impulse buys that can drain your cash. Shopping carts at the supermarket are clever. They can play a little mind game called anchoring and adjustment with us. Basically, we humans have this habit of letting the first bit of info we get, the anchor, steer our choices down the line. So, when you use a big cart, that cart size becomes your anchor. It's like your brain is saying, "Hey, look at all that space, let's fill it up." This can lead to this thing called shopping momentum, where you just can't help but toss more items in, often ending up spending way more than you planned. Ever notice those misty sprays in the produce aisle? They make fruits and veggies look all fresh, but that water can actually speed up the rotting. So when you get home, don't forget to give your produce a nice little towel dry to help it hang around longer. You know when you see a price tag that says $1.99 and it feels better than seeing a whole $2? It's called the left digit effect. It's a little quirk in our brains. We tend to read prices from left to right, and the first number we see packs a punch when it comes to how we feel about spending our cash. So these 99-cent things trick our minds into thinking we're scoring a much sweeter deal, even though it's really just a penny difference. Another trick supermarkets like to use is something like 10 for $10 sales. However, this promotion doesn't always mean you gotta buy 10. Sometimes it means the price per piece is $1. So make sure to always read the fine print and only buy what and how much you really need. Butcher counters may make you think it's something cool and fresh, when really, the only thing you're paying for is your ability to pick the cut you want. But if you go to the freezer section instead, you can purchase the very same things at a fraction of the price. Large packages have this reputation of giving you the best prices. But the truth is, sometimes they're bulky just to be bulky. Companies make bigger packages just to make our lives easier, but they sometimes charge us a lot more for it. Always double-check the unit price for each item before you buy. Oh, and while you're at the store, can you pick up some chocolate chip cookies for me? Thanks. If you need to cross a river, always check the conditions first. Choose the narrowest point where the current is slow and try to avoid deep and fast-moving areas. If you have an opportunity, put on sturdy footwear and find a walking stick. It'll keep you more stable. When crossing, always face upstream and maintain a slight angle. If you're moving in a group, link arms. It'll provide you with additional support. If the conditions become too challenging, turn back immediately. And never try to cross a river at night. That's one of the most dangerous things you can do. Rip currents are strong, narrow currents flowing outward from the beach through the surf zone. They present an immense hazard to swimmers. If you get caught in a rip current, try to remain as calm as possible. Move parallel to the shore until you get out of the current. After that, swim back to the shore. If you can't get out of the current, float or tread water and signal for assistance. You can do it by raising one arm and waving. If you accidentally fall into rapids, immediately grab onto something you can find around you, like a log or a bunch of sticks. It might prevent you from being dragged further away. Even if you feel that the water is quite shallow, don't stand up trying to walk the shore. You might get dragged down by the current again. Instead, try to swim down the river, moving closer to the shore. Or you can float on your back with your feet pointed downstream. This way your head will be more protected. Once you reach a calmer spot, flip over and swim diagonally toward the shore. If you're at sea and spot a whirlpool coming towards you, don't panic. If you understand which way it's spinning, ride to its side and use the whirlpool's current to catapult you out of danger. If you start fighting it, you're likely to get pulled inside. There's also a chance a whirlpool will dissolve or become weaker closer to the bottom. So if you do get trapped by it, take a big, deep breath and wait for an opportunity to swim up and away. If you're nearing a waterfall edge and realize that the plunge is possible, take a deep breath right before going over and prepare yourself for the drop. Try to position your body so that you'll be going down feet first. Wrap your arms around your head with your elbows pressed to your nose. It's a relatively effective way to seal it from water. Then tense your muscles and press your legs and feet together. Don't forget to close your mouth and eyes tightly. Once you hit the water at the bottom of the waterfall, start swimming away even before coming to the surface. If you've fallen into the water from a ship or a boat, first of all, scan the area around you to see if anything that floats has fallen into the water with you. It can be a pool noodle or an empty jug. Swim towards this object. If you're lucky enough to be wearing a life jacket, swim sideways or use backstrokes for short intervals to conserve energy. Once you reach the object, hold on to it and don't let go. If you see something bright, yellow, orange, or red, in the water, keep it. These colors are some of the most visible ones. They can help rescuers spot you. You must slow down the rate at which your body is cooling down. You can do it by floating, not swimming. In calm waters, you can float horizontally with your knees raised to your chest. If the conditions are rough, it's better to float vertically, focusing on not inhaling water. If you start moving around a lot, the air trapped in your clothing and shoes will disperse, making you less buoyant. So, stay as still as you can. Tsunamis often happen after serious earthquakes in areas with large bodies of water. The most dangerous thing about them is that they move extremely fast and often flood populated districts without any warning. The first thing you need to do is move as far away from the shore as possible and find some higher ground. It's great if you manage to get up as high as 100 feet above sea level. Using tall buildings and high trees to seek shelter is not recommended, but if you don't have any other options, climb as high as you can. If you live in an area that can be affected by a tsunami, plan an evacuation route in advance. This will help you gather yourself in a critical situation. If you've fallen through the ice into freezing water, try to get back to the edge of the ice. Don't pull yourself out by grabbing. The edge will keep breaking, and you'll exhaust yourself in no time. Kick your legs until your body is positioned horizontally in the water. After that, get out of the water and onto the ice like a seal. Once you've made it there, don't stand up. Remain spread out. This way, your weight will be distributed over a larger area. Then, the ice will be less likely to break. If you're falling from a cliff, do your best to break your fall into several parts. The shorter they are, the better. Each of the segments will absorb some impact of the fall, and you'll have much higher chances to survive. Try to grab onto a sturdy object, like a bush or a rock, on your way to the bottom to slow your fall. There's a survival myth that it's safe to drink salt water in small amounts, but such a delusion can have very dramatic consequences. Drinking any amount of salt water will lead to dehydration. It's better not to drink anything than to drink salt water. If you've gotten stuck in quicksand, do all you can to keep your head and arms above the surface at all times. Start to carefully wiggle your legs. Quicksand will fill the space previously occupied by your limbs. Then, stretch out on your back. It'll increase your surface area. Keep making tiny movements until your legs are free. You can also use backstroke motions with your arms. It'll help you pull your legs out. Try to put your weight onto your right leg and shake your left foot, slowly bringing it closer to the surface. Once you've done it, put your knee on top of the sand so that you're in a kneeling position. With your weight on your left knee, carefully shake your right leg until you can bring it up into a kneeling position too. After that, move off the sand. Make sure not to pull your legs up with too much force because you can tear your knee ligaments. There's a misconception that if you find yourself surrounded by snow with no drinking water at hand, eating snow is the best way to rehydrate. Unfortunately, it's false, and eating snow can lead to further dehydration. Once you put some snow in your mouth, your body has to start a process that will melt the snow and warm it. To do it, you'll need to spend a lot of energy, and it will make you lose liquids faster. Plus, eating snow can result in hypothermia. This condition is twice as dangerous if you're on your own. The chances are that snow contains harmful bacteria that can make you sick. But if you don't have any other solution, melt the snow you're going to consume in your hands first, and stay away from the snow that doesn't look fresh and white. If you're lost in the wilderness, find a stream or a small creek and follow it until it merges with a larger river. It will take you to a more developed and inhabited area where you'll get help. But don't fall for the myth that you can drink the water if you see animals drinking it. If you manage to find a source of water, you need to purify this water first. Your body is very different from those of animals, and if you don't purify the water before drinking it, you can get extremely sick.
Hello, your luxury bag package has arrived. We have a super romantic recipe for you. It'll especially be great for Valentine's Day or your someone special's birthday. Breakfast could not get any cuter than this. Now this hack is going to take your veggie sandwiches to a whole other level. Just be careful with the boiling hot oil. Fill the fried dough pocket with your favorite vegetables and bon appetit. Oh, this video is making me hungry already. You might want to write down the ingredients in your recipe book for this one. You know, just to remember everything later. One color is not enough, by the way. If you want this cookie to be a joyful burst of color, that is. Don't worry, the colors are going to be bright and gorgeous after they're baked. Make sure not to burn them. I somehow always manage to do that. Cookies and milk, everyone? Potatoes must be one magical vegetable, wouldn't you agree? Because there are probably more than 1,000 different dishes you can make with them. And they're all delicious. There are two types of people at a cafe, those who get a slice of cake or those who get a cookie. But I personally get both. Talk about having a sweet tooth, am I right? We already made colorful cookies, so why not make a rainbow cake now? Are you throwing a big party at your home soon? Then this dish is just for you. Because it's super easy to prepare, it's big, it's filling, and it's delicious. Oh, and did I mention it probably would take 15 minutes to prepare? Look at the cheese melt. Makes my mouth water. I could eat this for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Vegetables have a bad reputation, you know. Most people think they're boring and tasteless. But we're here to fix that common misconception. Something can be both nutritious and yummy at the same time. Take these carrot rolls, for example. They could be a great alternative if you're not fond of eating sushi. Just make sure to dip them in soy sauce for the full experience. Here's a quick meal you can prepare just with everyday breakfast items that you already have in your fridge. And it's super fresh and healthy. Perfect dinner for hot summer nights if you ask me. Add the topping of your choice and enjoy. Another example of how vegetables are tasty gifts from Mother Nature. This kind of looks like a forest, wouldn't you agree? The key here is to leave no empty space behind. By the way, having a good oven is key if you want to experiment in the kitchen. Let's say it's the middle of the night. There's no takeout place left open, but you're craving some fast food. This is just the recipe for that. Come on, admit it, you thought this was gonna be a version of pizza, right? Anyone want crunchy pasta? This is healthier than store-bought chips, you know. By the way, here's a fun fact about pasta that not many people know. The first reports of people eating pasta actually came from China. Speaking of sausages, I'm on a fun fact roll here, so here's one about hot dogs for you. The world record for hot dog eating is 76. Let's just hope the person who broke it was okay after eating them. Anyway, back to our delicious hot dog egg crepes. Well, if you have a better name for these, don't hesitate to let me know in the comments. From the looks of it, that avocado needs a bit more time to ripen up. But since it's going into the blender, that shouldn't be a big problem. I suggest you blend that for a couple of minutes to achieve a smooth paste with no clumps. I assume that's cream cheese. Who needs a dipping bowl, am I right? Great for Super Bowl season. You won't need to do the dishes after having guests over. I prefer my popcorn with melted butter. Well, that goes for corn on the cob, too. I can already tell this is gonna taste amazing. Hey, they should start selling these in movie theaters as well. This will not be one of your regular fried potatoes, people. Trust me. I know you have the urge to cut small cubes, but make sure to keep the potato in one piece. Otherwise, this won't work. Have you ever heard that Cleopatra supposedly took milk baths to keep her skin looking young and healthy? Well, don't get me wrong, these milk ice cubes are not for that. That's one way to cool down coffee. Somebody's making a real mess in the kitchen. Why not put the whole bag in the water? It'll be much safer and cleaner. That's one sharp knife you got there. But here's another way you can use it. Looks like you're gonna have to get your hands dirty. And in some cases, touching raw meat with your bare hands may not be a good idea. That's where this cold water hack comes in handy, pun intended. Sometimes you might not have the time to make dough. In those cases, using bread would work perfectly fine to prepare delicious snacks. You know what? This is not fair. I can't continue my diet plan anymore, especially after learning about incredible recipes like this one. That may look like a plastic sheet, but it's actually rice paper, so very much edible. These chips could be a healthier alternative for your kid's lunch bag. Trust me, there's no way they won't like how these taste. This next quick recipe is going to bring a whole other level to frozen yogurt. We're adding berries here, but feel free to pick any fruit you want. I call these frozen yogurt crackers. Do you have a milk frother at home? If your answer is yes, then great, because that's all you need to prepare instant banana milk for yourself. Yep, you don't even need a glass. You can put them in an ice bowl to keep your drink cold and fresh. Are we making chocolate crepes? Count me invested. By the way, any type of chocolate bar will work for this. The trick here is to have enough oil in the pan as well as to heat it beforehand. Add some powdered sugar on top to make it look like it's out of the hands of a Michelin star chef. This is the stuff that dreams are made of. Something sweet? Check. Now it's time for another savory recipe. You can use both mashed or grated potatoes to make this one. The choice is up to you. Just make sure they're freshly prepared. Add a cup of flour and an egg. Then cook the mixture until it's golden brown. Your potato waffles are ready to be served.
Be alert and save your life. Words to live by. Here's a list of to-dos. If a power line falls near you, you should run away. Electric current is now everywhere on the ground. When it comes into contact with one leg, it passes through the person's body and exits through the other leg, thereby hitting the whole body with a powerful charge. If you get lost in the forest, listen carefully to the sounds around you. Perhaps you'll hear the sound of a flowing river. Go toward the sound and then go downstream. People often build houses near the sources of water, ponds or lakes. Sooner or later, the river will lead you to a place where people will find you. Never eat snow if you get lost in a cold place and are thirsty. Cold snow inside your body will lead to hypothermia. You'll lose heat and freeze quickly. It's much better to melt some snow on a campfire and then drink it. See those green potatoes in the supermarket? Don't eat them because they're toxic. Potatoes, or potatoes, produce solanine, a toxic that protects them against insects. The production of this poison increases under the hot rays of the sun. Of course, to get poisoned by solanine, you need to eat a lot of green potatoes. But even if it's just one potato, it won't be good for your body, so why eat it? Pepper spray is good for self-defense, but if you're afraid to use it, you can keep a bright flashlight in your bag. Point its light in the robber's eyes to scare them away. Besides, this way of self-defense won't harm the robber, and you won't cause any unnecessary problems. If you leave a frying pan with oil on a turned-on stove, the oil may catch fire. In this situation, extinguishing the flames with water will be a big no-no. Water molecules will descend to the bottom of the pot, evaporate, and push the oil up. This will lead to even more flames. The best way to put out a hot oil fire is to deprive it of oxygen. Cover the pan with a lid and remove it from the burner. Flames are not the scariest thing about a fire. Smoke is much more dangerous. You can get poisoned very quickly by inhaling carbon monoxide. Therefore, always try to stay as close to the ground as possible and cover your mouth and nose with a wet cloth to filter the oxygen. Always put a small mirror or whistle in your pocket when you go camping. These two items will help you find your group if you get lost. The whistle will attract others' attention with sound, and the mirror will do it by reflecting sunlight. When you're swimming in the sea or ocean near the shore, there's a risk of getting caught in a rip tide. An undercurrent will pull you further and further away from the beach. Don't try to swim to the shore against the current. You will only waste your energy. Always swim parallel to the shore in such cases. Once you escape the current, you can safely return to the shore. Imagine that your car gets stuck on railway tracks. Well, don't panic. First of all, get all the passengers out of the vehicle. Then you can call 911 and report the incident. There's a special number at each level crossing. Tell the number to the police, and they will warn the train driver to stop at the specified section. If you start feeling unwell in a crowd, don't ask all the people around for help. Most likely, no one will help you. Not because people are bad, but because every person passing by will think that someone else will help you. But if you choose one person and ask them for help, you'll have a better chance to get it. Every car has a thermometer, a device that shows you the temperature of air outside. Sometimes, manufacturers put its sensor behind the front bumper, near the engine. While driving, the thermometer gets heated by the engine and shows you a higher temperature. Even if it's freezing outside, the device can indicate that it's warm. Therefore, don't trust the thermometer if it's installed this way. What if there's some ice on the road and you're driving completely sure that the asphalt is dry? Smell that? A sudden strong smell of fish in your house may mean an electrical fire has started in some room. Your socket or adapter is on fire, emitting this unpleasant odor. Using regular baking soda is a good way to put out a fire. If you don't have a fire extinguisher or access to water, sprinkle the fire with this powder. Also, this substance can hide your smell from predators. It's helpful if you've gotten lost in the forest and don't want wolves or bears to smell your scent. Use ordinary charcoal and a plastic bottle to clean dirty water. Cut off the bottom of the bottle and close the lid slightly on the upper part so that the liquid pours out in a thin stream. Put the coal in there and add some water. Let it pass through the charcoal several times. Then heat and boil the water. Now you can quench your thirst. Always take some gum with you when going to the wilderness. If you get lost, chewing gum will help you relieve stress. You can also use this material as glue. Always keep your car keys next to your bed. If a thief enters your house, use the keys to turn on the car alarm and scare the thief away. But installing a good security system in your home is even better. While skiing or snowboarding, there's always a chance of getting caught in an avalanche. If you find yourself under a layer of snow, don't try to get out immediately. Your mind is confused, and you need to know where is up and where is down. Spit and see where the saliva flows. Then start digging in the opposite direction. When your plane makes an emergency landing on the water, your instinct can force you to put on your life jacket immediately. Don't do this until you're in the water. If you put on the vest and water starts to fill the cabin, it will be difficult for you to move. So get to the emergency exit first, then put on the jacket. When you feel someone is following your car, make 4 right turns. This way, you will make 1 circle around a block. And if the car is still following you after that, drive to the nearest police station. While walking outside, you may notice or feel hairs on your head starting to stand on end. Look for shelter quickly. Lightning is about to strike you. Service dogs are wearing special jackets with the inscription "Service." If such a dog approaches you, you need to follow it. Perhaps you will save someone's life. If a person gets in trouble and no one is nearby to help, the dog will start looking for someone to save them. During a fire, the flames spread more slowly if the doors in the room are closed. So when you go to bed, close the bedroom door. It'll hold the flames for a while. But don't forget that it's always better to have a good fire alarm. Tornadoes move fast, so if you notice a vortex that seems to be standing still, you must run. It means the tornado is moving right towards you. The smell of gas in a room indicates a leak. Therefore, don't turn on the light. The smallest spark can set the whole house ablaze. When you scratch a person, their DNA remains under your nails. This can help you in case of an attack, especially when the robber has run away and you want to help the police find them. If you've disturbed a hornet's nest or a beehive, run in any direction as fast as possible. Sooner or later, the insects will stop chasing you. But if you jump in the water, they'll wait until you get out.
You park your car in a dark alley, lock it, and leave it for just a couple of minutes to go grab a coffee. When you come back, your beloved vehicle is no longer there. A siren sounds. Oh wait, that was the alarm. Phew! Luckily, that was all just a dream, and you can help it to never come true. First of all, you can install a steering wheel lock in your car. It can either be a long metal rod stretched over the steering wheel or a chain lock connected to the seatbelt buckle. Both options are good to slow down the bad guys that might break into your vehicle. But don't make it 100% thief-proof. The thieves can just cut the steering wheel or even the lock, so you need to add some extra layers of protection to be sure. Criminals like to use gadgets that catch signals and help them steal cars without a key. For example, if the car is parked in a garage of a private house or under the windows of a multi-story building, the keys are accessible through the radio device. Thieves can easily intercept the signal, and the owners of the car won't notice anything. To protect your keys from relay attacks when they're stored at home, use something metallic. You can simply wrap the keys in foil to block the radio signals or keep them in a safe metal box. Park in areas that are well lit and have security cameras. Building entrances and parking lots are your best choice. An isolated garage isn't always the best idea because it could put you personally at risk. So if you do park in one of those, stay close to the attendant or where security cameras can see you. Keep the wheels turned towards the curb whenever you park. It will make it way harder for thieves to try to tow the auto with a tow truck. To steal a car, a criminal will have to make some extra maneuvers. It takes time and effort and can demotivate the bad guys. In many cases, it's not your car the bad guys are after. It's that shiny new laptop you dropped in the front seat or your designer purse that looks like it's stuffed with valuables. Things like that are hard to resist and often lead to a break-in. So take an extra moment to hide your belongings in the trunk, and your vehicle will be less tempting for criminals. Don't just jump out of the car, even if it's literally for a moment to buy something. If you need to get out, always stop the engine first, close the windows, and lock the doors. Storing your vehicle registration in the car is a good way to make the lives of thieves easier. They can present it to police officers in case they get pulled over. Your insurance information and VIN can help them get new keys to unlock the car, no problem. If you aren't the only person using the car, find some secret place to hide the registration and only tell the people you trust 100% about it. You can also take a photo of your title registration and insurance information and store them on your smartphone. Another option is to make copies of those important docs and keep them with you. Mark your windshields, windows, and mirrors with a VIN number, which is the identification number of the vehicle. This service won't cost you a lot, but will demotivate the bad guys. They'll have to spend money to change the marked glass, and they will think twice if they want to invest in your vehicle. You can also play spy and leave marks on different parts of the car with an invisible pen, or cover it in microdots with your ID details. This won't stop thieves, but it will make it easier to track the vehicle if it gets stolen. If you know that you'll have to leave the car somewhere new and you don't feel like it's a safe place, hide an old switched-on phone or tablet in it. Make sure you have a way to track it. Then, the Find My Phone feature will help you locate the phone and the car in a matter of seconds. You can either get a cheap data plan for real-time tracking or rely on GPS. It should work even without a SIM card. Protect your side mirrors from thieves with special covers. You can find models that come with locks made from anti-cut materials. The cover will also protect your side mirrors from scratches and scuffs and extend their lifespan. Plus, you can go creative and choose covers with your favorite team's logo or something else that's important to you. Not a bad idea to customize your vehicle on a budget, right? Car thieves use different schemes to distract your attention. A piece of paper stuck to the rearview window, a plastic bottle over the wheel, or a shirt on the trunk of your car. These and other small things will likely get you out of the car. The bad guys can also pretend to be nice and helpful and to tell you to pull over because there's something under your car. The idea here is, again, to get you out of your car and let them steal it. So instead of going out, close the windows, lock the car doors, and don't go out if there's someone suspicious hanging around. Criminals aren't the only bad guys who can do your vehicle harm. Harsh winter weather can be a problem too. If you don't want to find your wipers stuck to the windshield and scrape them off every morning, leave them up when you're not driving. You probably heard it's a bad idea because it ruins the arm's spring and can tempt someone to steal your wipers. Don't worry, the springs don't lose their elasticity, and there aren't really many people who are after your wiper blades. In case you forget to put the wipers up and find them safely stuck to your windshield, try running the AC. Cold air will defrost the windows just like warm air. It works by dehumidifying the air. If your lock is frozen and you can't get inside your own car, treat it with some hand sanitizer. That substance can melt the ice without a problem. To prevent your windshield from getting frosty, mix 3 parts vinegar and 1 part water and spray that solution on the windows overnight. It'll save you some scraping time in the morning. Always keep your gas tank more than half full in cold weather. Moist air will be happy to fill any empty space above the fuel in your tank. And that air will condense to water in the cold. Water is denser than gasoline, so it settles at the bottom of your tank. When enough of it accumulates, it'll go through the fuel line to the engine, and that's not really good. To protect your favorite car from rust, wash your vehicle regularly. Something as simple as that can be the difference because dirt damages the protective layer of clear coat and paint and makes it easier for rust to sneak in. Don't forget to wash the undercarriage of the car and the wheel wells. Make sure the car paint isn't chipping or peeling. You need that layer to protect your vehicle from the elements. In the cold season, salt from the road can also cause some rust spots. To avoid that, you should at least rinse the car every week, even in the winter. And don't forget to wax it at least twice a year. That's another good way to keep your paint looking good as new and protect it from UV rays. One more thing is to keep the inside of the car clean. If you spill something inside, always mop up the liquid. You don't want it to seep further and hit the metal parts. This is exactly how rust forms.
Now, a basic sponge and baking soda can make a great eraser for little grease spots, fingerprints, and stains on your walls, or many other painted areas such as furniture or wood fences. Just sprinkle a bit of baking soda on your dry sponge and scrub the stain area in a circular motion, and then use a clean, dry cloth to wipe the baking soda off to get rid of any remaining dirt. If you're worried that this technique might ruin the paint, try just a bit of soda first and see how the surface reacts. If you want to extract the maximum amount of juice from your lemon or lime, put them first in a microwave for 15 seconds. After that, give them a little roll on a hard surface. And now, feel free to use your manual juicer. When you smash some glass or pottery on the floor, it can be pretty hard to notice and pick up all the tiny fragments, especially if the glass is transparent. Guess what can help you? A slice of bread. After you remove all the big pieces, carefully wipe a thick slice of bread across the floor to pick up any tiny fragments. They should just get stuck in the bread. But make sure to do this very carefully or just put on protective gloves. And don't absent-mindedly make yourself a sandwich right afterwards. Hey, just saying. If you're a huge fan of garlic, here's a tip for you. Cut one garlic bulb in half and rub an empty bowl for a nice flavor. Now, you can put your pasta, risotto, or salad in the bowl and enjoy your meal. Pringles tubes are made from a mixture of paper, plastic, and metal, which makes them a good option to organize groceries. You can paint the tubes in a plain color to make them match your stylish, minimalistic kitchen, and then attach removable labels on the side. Have you ever struggled with threading a needle? Here's an easy way out. Place your toothbrush on the table and put the thread across the bristles of the brush. Now gently push the needle down over the top. The bristles will help you poke the thread up through the eye effortlessly. Once you got the loop, just use your fingers to pull it through. If you've got these annoying tea stains on your favorite mug that won't wash off, try to apply some toothpaste to your sponge. This is also applicable when you need to make your dirty cutlery shine. It's best to use a mildly abrasive sponge. It's pretty helpful when it comes to removing dark spots on dishes. Now let's say you've recently received a really gorgeous bouquet, but the flowers got this sad look in a blink of an eye. You can extend their living very easily and almost free of charge. First, fill the vase or vase with fresh water and put a couple of teaspoons of sugar. This will help to nourish the flowers. Before you put the flowers back into the vase, cut about an inch off the stem, but make sure to slice it at an angle like this. This trick will increase the surface of water absorption. Repeat this with all the stems, especially with hard ones. Now put the bouquet back into the vase or vase. The flowers should cheer up within 12 hours. If you suffer from cold feet, put them into a vase or vase. No, wait. Use a hairdryer to warm up your slippers before using them. This tip is also applicable to your outdoor winter shoes. Speaking of feet, there's a great way to get rid of unpleasant smells. Apply about 10 drops of your favorite essential oil on 2 cotton balls. Now place the balls into the shoes and leave them overnight. Remove them in the morning and enjoy the fancy smell. You can also mix a couple of your favorite fragrances to customize your shoe fragrance even more. If your drain is a bit dirty and smelly, there's an epic tip to solve this issue. Put down a couple of spoonfuls of baking soda and pour down a little vinegar. And now step back and enjoy the show. It will foam up and help loosen any dirt. We've all tried to light a match outdoors in windy weather and failed. Well, we've been doing it all wrong. There's an easy way to prepare a matchstick in advance using a sharp knife. Carefully carve back the 4 corners just behind the head of the matchstick. Then repeat the same technique one more time so it looks like this. These 8 little splinters will help create a stronger wind-resistant flame. If you have a small wardrobe with limited space for hanging new clothes, remove some metal pull tabs from the tops of old drinking cans. They can make the perfect holding loops for fixing the second hanger. Just put the ring over the hook. This is how you can double and even triple the storage space on one hanging rail. If you need to make an emergency candle, you can use one very common item from your fridge. Have you guessed what it is? Butter. Cut off a piece of chilled butter and place it on a heat-proof dish. Poke a hole straight down through the center using a toothpick or a wooden stick. Now we need a wick. You can use a common cotton string or twine. Cut the corresponding length and poke it through the hole so it goes all the way to the bottom of your candle. Gently coat the end of the wick with butter and light up your brand new DIY candle. Use hair straightening tongs to smooth out those annoying creases on your tie. Or let's say you're working in a shop and you have to deal with fluffy piles of cash. The tongs will help you iron your money to put them in smaller stacks, which then fit neatly into your backpack. Hey, let's not go there. Wow, this zipper is tough. Why can't it slide smoothly like all other zippers? But don't rush to throw away your coat. Grab a bar of soap and gently rub it up and down against the zipper. Repeat it on both sides. Can you feel the difference? Cut one leg off your old tights and put two long cardboard tubes inside it. Go ahead and thread it under your internal door with one tube on each side. This will protect you from any draft because the tights will seal up any gap under the floor. You can also use this trick when you need to make a full blackout in the room. Just make sure to use thick black tights. Let's say you're visiting a conference in another city, and your schedule will be very busy. You can prepare your outfits for each day in advance and put them into different compartments of your hanging clothes storage organizer this way. Now, put it right down into your suitcase, zip it, and you're ready to go. When you arrive at the hotel, you can just carefully pull out this organizer and hang it in the closet in just 2 seconds. But don't forget to take the shoes too. Is there a way to drive a nail into a wall without hurting your fingers? The answer is yes. Grab your comb and push the nail in between the prongs. This way you'll keep your fleshy fingers far away and safe. And once you've got it started, you can easily slide out the comb and finish driving the nail. If you need an emergency metal scrubby sponge to wash your pot or pan, use a piece of tin foil. Crumple it up into a ball, apply a little bit of dish soap, and your brand new sponge is ready. Now start scrubbing and get ready to be amazed. It works really well, huh? By the way, the tin foil doesn't have to be new. You can recycle the piece you've already used for cooking. And the final tip is for perfectionists. If your shower head has a hard water buildup, the water won't come out straight. To fix this, fill a plastic bag with plain white vinegar. Then put the shower head inside the bag, attach it with a band, and leave it overnight. In the morning, you can give your shower head a little scrub with an old toothbrush or clothes brush. This should help remove the remaining hard water dirt. This trick is also applicable for faucet heads.
If you're struggling with opening a container or a jar, don't exert yourself too much. Just run the lid under hot water for half a minute and then dry it for a better grip and see how it magically opens. If you're following a recipe that calls for both garlic and onions, add onions first. When you see they're almost translucent, that's the perfect moment to add garlic. Garlic will cook faster than onions, so if you put both of these products in a pan at the same time, the garlic will burn and your meal won't taste as good. You're a fan of avocados? Here's how you can easily check if one is ripe or not. Just take a look at its tail. If you can pull it out without any difficulties, the avocado is good to eat. If you can't do it easily, better leave it for a couple of days since it's not ripe yet. Here's how you can tell if an egg is fresh or not. Break it and check the yolk. If you can see that it has a clear circle of white surrounding it and is located in the middle, you have a fresh egg. The yolk is supposed to be voluminous too. If it's flat, it's better not to eat the egg. If you see that the white part doesn't have clear borders and your egg spreads around, the chances are it's spoiled. To tell the quality of your eggs, put a raw one while it's still in the shell into a bowl of water. If the egg remains on the bottom, you're good to go. If one of its sides comes closer to the water surface, your egg is not fresh, but you can still eat it. But if it floats, it's not fresh enough to consume. Brushing your teeth in the morning and before you go to bed doesn't have to be the same process. It's important to brush your teeth in the morning, but more so that you have fresh breath. But in the evening, you should brush your teeth more thoroughly because that's how you can prevent bacteria from breeding and protect your gums and teeth. Speaking of bad breath, want to know a good trick to fight it in no time? Cucumber slices. If you don't have a mint within reach, simply eat a slice of cucumber to fix this problem. When you buy natural peanut butter, store it upside down. That way, it won't separate into solids and oils as much. And you'll bring the oils to the top, which is why the peanut butter will be easier to mix. When you put something down for a while, comment it out loud. For example, I've put my phone on the floor right next to my bed. When you do this, you engage multiple parts of your brain, including the language centers, and create a more vivid memory. That way, you'll be less likely to forget about it. You can do the same when you, for example, blow out a candle, unplug your hair straightener, turn off your stove burners, or take your keys, wallet, and other stuff when you leave the house. You'll get rid of many of those moments of doubt that make you wonder if you really did those things. If you visit your friend and bring along something you don't want to forget when you leave, just put it next to your car keys. That's something you definitely can't leave without. If it's hard for you to make a decision, flip a coin. It's not really about letting it decide for you, but while you're waiting to see the result, your mind will automatically start thinking about the outcome you really want, but perhaps can't admit out loud. You're in the supermarket and want to know if the pumpkin you're holding is good or not. Just knock on it. Does it sound as if it's empty inside? That's a good sign. Meanwhile, on the outside, it should be solid. Sometimes we dispose of foods that are still good to consume, like yogurt that's become layered. You know that layer of liquid on the top? That's just whey that contains nutrients. Stir your yogurt to make it smooth because it's still good to eat. When you're buying chicken, check if there's liquid around it. It's better when it doesn't have it. For instance, if you take some frozen chicken out of the freezer and see a lot of ice around the piece, it's better not to eat it. You're moving into a new apartment or house? Set up your bedroom first. Buy a bed before anything else. When you're exhausted after carrying your stuff around and cleaning the whole day, you'll just want to have a comfortable place to rest. Here's a trick that will help you figure out if your coconut oil is adulterated. Leave it in the fridge for half an hour. Coconut oil becomes solid at low temperatures. Adulterant oils detach, and you can see them as a separate layer. When you want to check if an onion has some mold, just take a look at what's under the first layer of peel. Do you see stains that look as if the peel has faded? Mold. Better avoid buying this vegetable. Or make sure to remove all that mold if you've already got it. You can determine whether a lemon is ripe or not by eye. If its skin is smooth and has a rich yellow color, it's ripe. A greenish tint, as well as a pale yellow color, tells you it's ready to be used yet. This one's for coffee lovers. If you really want to enjoy your overall coffee experience, it's way better to buy beans and grind them yourself. Or ask if a salesperson can do it in the store when you buy your coffee. That's the best way to make sure that the product is really made without any extra additions that can be present in a regular ground coffee. If you're looking for a simple way to separate yolks from egg whites, try this. Take a clean and empty plastic water bottle, crack an egg into a bowl, squeeze the bottle over the yolk, and slowly release it. This way, you'll create a vacuum which will make the yolk slide into the bottle. Ta-da! It's separated from the white, just like that. Let's say you lost an earring or some other small item in the house. A vacuum cleaner will help. Just don't forget to pop a stocking over its head. This way, the item won't get lost in the dust and dirt inside the vax bag. You want to take your favorite lotion with you on a trip, but it takes up too much space? Try using a contact lens case. It doesn't need a lot of space, and it's a perfect solution for short trips. A hair straightener is a surprisingly good tool when it comes to ironing collars, especially if you're not a fan of regular ironing. When you want to check if your batteries are good or bad, just drop them on the table from approximately 6 inches. If they bounce once and fall right over, they're good to go. If they bounce around more than that, they're either done or on the way out. If your razor doesn't have a plastic cap, just use a binder clip to cover it. And to protect the rest of your stuff if you're packing it with some sensitive items or materials. Nail polish is a simple yet effective way to differentiate your keys, especially if they're all similar. Finally, you don't have to try each of them before getting to the right one. When you're reheating leftovers in a microwave, space out a circle in the middle of your dish. This way, your food will heat up more evenly. Straw is a cool tool to remove strawberry stems, don't you think? A muffin tin definitely comes in handy when you want to serve different condiments for your barbecue. Plus, it will save you some time with the dishes later.
Here's how you can protect your bank card from potential fraudsters. Use a marker and cover the last 4 digits. You can also use a sticker that's easy to remove and place it over the security code. Have you had a house guest that didn't use a coaster? Get a hairdryer and hold it a couple of inches away from the stain. Blow it on medium heat for a couple of minutes to evaporate the watermark. If a faded ring remains, mix equal amounts of vinegar and olive oil in a bowl. Wipe it onto the marked area and rub it in until the stain disappears. Then wipe it off. Don't waste time scrubbing the burnt stains off the bottom of a pan. Instead, fill it with water and add 3 tablespoons of salt. Let it sit overnight as the salt dissolves the burnt marks, and in the morning, pour the water out of the pan. This way, it will be much easier to scrub all that grease off. Picture this. You're on vacation and your shirt has become all crinkled inside the luggage. You need it tonight, but the hotel doesn't have an iron. Don't panic. Hang the shirt up in the bathroom, and while you relax in a hot shower, the heat and moisture will unwrinkle your shirt. It won't be perfect, but it will get much better without any effort. The football is on, and it turns out you've run out of standard batteries. You can use a smaller battery instead that easily fits inside. Now take some aluminum foil and crunch it up. Fit it into the gap on the negative or flat end of the battery. All done. You can turn on the TV now. Once your flip-flops crack and the plug easily slips out of the hole, it's normally a sign that you need a new pair. But there's a way to extend their mileage. Push the plug back through the hole, then take a bread clip and attach it to the end. The clip will provide enough support for the plug to remain in place. You've received a package and the receipt is taped on. You've managed to detach it from the box. But how to separate the tape without ripping the paper? Hold both ends of the tape apart, and by pulling it slowly, the tape stretches and separates itself from the paper without tearing it apart. Ziploc bags are perfect to keep things dry, but it would be great if they were larger. Take 2 and turn one of them inside out. They can now connect and work as one large bag, big enough to protect a keyboard. There's no need to carry your keys in your hand when you go for a jog. Instead, put them inside your pocket, take a rubber band, then tie it around the pocket from the inside. This stops the keys from falling out. You've broken your key in the door. It's stuck. Great. Arranging for a locksmith could cost up to $100, but for a cheaper and quicker option, try using a hot glue stick. Heat the end with a lighter, and once it's warm enough to melt, push the glue into the keyhole. The melted glue will enter the available space, covering part of the key. Once it cools, it compresses and gains a strong hold of the key's end. Now, just pull it out. If you need to siphon liquid through a hose and want to avoid using your mouth, put one end in the liquid and hold the other upwards with your thumb closing the top. Now shake up and down. This jiggle motion pushes liquid upwards, a little each time. And once it reaches the top, lower the exit point and let gravity do the rest. You've left your keys locked inside the car. It's an older model with a roll-down window. You could get the coat hanger and begin the long process of finding the lock. Or use duct tape. Make about 20 2-foot-long strands. Stick them onto the window, allowing enough room for the tape to grab onto at the bottom. Then with a friend, take the ends of the tape, holding them together, and pull downwards. The force will allow the window to lower enough that you can unlock the door. While drilling long screws into hardwood, your old drill might not have enough power, leaving them only halfway in. Before the drill gives up, get a block of wax and scrape the edges of the screws with it. The wax works like a lubricant, melting as it gets warm and providing easy entry for the screw. You're out camping, but you didn't bring anything to light the barbecue. Take a small plastic bag that won't leak, fill it up with water, and close it tight, making a round bubble. Hold it over where you want to catch the light from the sun. The bag of water will work like a magnifying glass, starting up the barbecue, just as long as it's a sunny day. Missing a corkscrew or a cork breaking halfway? By using a stove lighter, heat the top of the bottle. The heat slightly expands the glass, and this forces the cork out the top. You've superglued your fingers again. Take some salt and pour it on top of your stuck fingers. Put your fingers into the water and slowly rub. The mixture will dissolve the glue and release you in no time. While hanging up a painting, it can be impossible to find that stubborn nail. Place a fork upside down and insert it so the nail is in between the middle fork teeth. The fork has provided a long arm that's separated from the wall, making it easier to slip the string of the painting over the nail. Once it's perfectly balanced, simply remove the fork. You need to put a cake into a container, but taking it out again later by lifting it up from the inside might ruin the cake. Put the lid upside down and place the cake on the lid. The base of the container is now the lid, making it much easier to access, slice by slice. Pour out water more efficiently from large jugs and bottles by swirling. This will make the liquid inside spin, creating a vortex. The vortex allows for the air to flow back into the bottle as the water pours out, much faster than the glugging alternative. There's an easier and less messy way to remove eggshells from a boiled egg. Once fully boiled, crack the shell on both ends by tapping them. On one end, pinch off the shell. Use the opened end to blow with your mouth. The force of air will push the flesh and expand the eggshell, forcing out the egg undamaged. When the hinges of your laptop break, repairing them can cost up to $300. A far cheaper fix is to buy a picture frame and tape it to the back of the screen. You've dropped a small piece of jewelry on the floor, seemingly impossible to find. Take a stocking and place it over the end of the vacuum hose. Give the area a good vacuum and check the end periodically. You will eventually find it sitting at the end. You've drilled a hole in the wall, but the drill hole is now too wide. Remove the screw and find an object that is slightly shorter and thinner. Pieces of plastic, small wires, paper clips, or even toothpicks are perfect. Place whichever item you find inside the hole. It's filled the gap enough so the screw will now re-enter securely. Taking the trash out can put you in a gross scenario of getting bin juice on you. A great way to avoid this is by placing old papers at the bottom of the bag. Now, not only does it absorb all the liquids from the food and other sources, but also helps prevent bad smells from forming within a bin. Nobody likes mosquitoes, and pesticides are pricey. A cheap alternative is to take a plastic bottle and cut the top part off from the bottom of the funnel. After removing it, turn it upside down and put it inside the bottle. Mix 2 cups of warm water with 2 tablespoons of sugar. The mosquitoes will be attracted to the formula inside and become trapped. Now just sit back and relax without getting bitten.
Yep, moving objects through a door when it keeps closing is super annoying. So instead, tie a rubber band around the handle on each side of the door so that it crosses over the latch. The latch then won't be able to pop out, and the door won't lock shut. To check whether your bed sheets are fully dried, take a mirror and place it underneath. Leave it there for around 5 minutes, and if it steams up, it means the sheets are still damp. A damp bed can be a breeding ground for mold and other nasty fungi. You can paint the end of your keys with different colored nail polish so that you can easily identify which key is which. In order to pour the perfect amount of oil or salad dressing, poke holes in the foil seal rather than removing it completely. This prevents a big amount rushing out quickly. To prevent Band-Aids from slipping off your finger, cut a line on either side. This will create 4 smaller sticky strips rather than one large one, and it will be much easier to secure. If you enter a public restroom and see a red Solo cup someone put under the seat, better choose another booth. It means there's no toilet paper in this one. The red cup is a frequent replacement for a toilet paper hub, which is also put under the seat for the same reason. Speaking of restrooms, almost any public toilet has a large gap between the floor and the door. The reason for such a zero privacy thing is to actually minimize the level of privacy and comfort so that people won't stay there long and there'd be no lines. It's also to clean and safer if some emergency occurs. Forgot to put your drink in the fridge? Wrap a wet paper towel around it and put it in the freezer. In just 15 minutes, your drink will be ice cold. Instead of filling your purse or wallet with store loyalty cards, you can take a photo of them. Just take one snap of the barcode as well as a picture of the front so you know which card it is. Then, when you visit the store, just scan the barcode on your phone to collect your points. If you're using your phone to watch something and are tired of propping it up and having it fall back down, try using your sunglasses. Simply place them upside down and use the parts that go around your ears to hold the phone in place. Now, if you don't have the correct size coin to put in your shopping cart next time you go to the supermarket, you can use your key instead. If you have a key with a rounded end, you can insert that where the coin would go and the cart should unlock. If you're struggling to get your taco shells to stay in place, use a muffin tray. Flip the tray upside down, spray it with oil, and place your tortillas in the gap. Cook them for around 10 minutes at 700 degrees Fahrenheit for the perfect crispy taco shell. You can use a water bottle to separate egg yolks. Hold the bottle over the yolk and squeeze it to suck the yolk up. Drop it into a separate bowl and you're good to go. Next time you're struggling to clean your ceiling fan, use a pillowcase. Slide the pillowcase over each blade to wipe off the dust. This way, excess dust is caught inside the pillowcase and won't rain down on you. To properly clean your blender, fill it with soap and hot water. Switch it on for around 10 seconds and let the swirling water do the hard work. Then just rinse it off and it's clean. Put down a strip of masking tape before nailing into plaster walls. The tape should stop the plaster from flaking or spreading dust all over the floor. If your shoes smell bad, put a few dry tea bags into the shoe. The tea bags will absorb the smell. Try using toothpaste to remove small scratches on furniture. Rub a peanut-sized amount on the scratch in a circular motion until the scratch buffs out. Then wipe it with a damp cloth and voila! Drill a couple of small holes in the bottom of your trash can to stop the bag getting stuck when you pull it out. The holes stop the vacuum-like effect that keeps the bag pinned down. You can easily remove the sticky residue from jars using cooking oil. Soak a cotton pad in some oil, then rub it on the sticky area. Allow it to sit for a few minutes, then it should wipe away easily. Now, you can use hair conditioner to make that new wool sweater less itchy. Just soak it in lukewarm water with a couple of tablespoons of conditioner and leave it for 15 minutes. Then just dry it and your sweater will be much softer. An odor on your fingers can be removed with some minty toothpaste. Rub them together with toothpaste, then rinse them clean. It'll help get rid of the odor and act as a light scrub, too. Now, before you throw out those old sneakers, arm yourself with an old toothbrush and a little toothpaste. Work the paste into the dirty spots and leave it for at least 10 minutes. Wipe it off with a damp cloth and repeat if it didn't do it right the first time. Be careful with colored toothpaste, it may leave stains. Washing your clothes on a low heat, or even better, a cold wash, will make them last twice as long. Drying them on the line, if possible, will also make the material last longer than if you used a dryer. Metal zippers are very durable, but they'll snag more than other kinds of zippers. Just gently rub a bar of soap over the teeth of both sides of the zipper. The residue will help lubricate it, making it easier to slide open and closed. When you can't squeeze any more toothpaste out of your tube, just cut the end off. This will allow you to get what's left inside onto your toothbrush in a pinch. If there's enough for more than one use, place it in a plastic bag for later. Freezing candles before use can make them burn a lot slower. This will cool the wax right down and extend its melting time. A pack of cotton pads has those strings on it so that we can hang it on some hook or holder. And no, there's no need to untighten and tighten the pack again. Look at the bottom of the pack. It has a perforated line. Tear along it, and now you're good to pull out a cotton pad. If you've ever tasted a Nintendo cartridge, you'll confirm that, yes, they taste revolting, leaving a sour, bitterish aftertaste in your mouth. They're covered with denatonium benzoate, one of the most disgusting flavors known. Actually, this taste is kind of a hidden function. It prevents people from swallowing those cartridges. Headrests in a car are about comfort. And detachable headrests are about safety. If you pull the headrest out of the seat, you'll see two bars, which are quite sturdy. If you ever get locked or trapped in a car, you can get out of there smashing the window with these bars. Rough edges on the dimes aren't just about design. The coins used to be made of precious metals to show their real value. People would shave off the edges, spending the shaven coins with the same value, and melt the edges to new coins. To avoid it, minters added that pattern so people could tell if someone cut that coin before. That black grate on a microwave isn't just some fancy decoration. It's called a Faraday shield, and it prevents the rays from escaping the microwave. It also speeds up the heating, so you could enjoy yesterday's leftovers faster. A triple handle on a jerry can is there to make it easier for two people to carry it and distribute the fuel evenly. Gas cans often have a second hole that actually needs to be uncapped too before you pour the gas. The air passage will prevent it from pouring out, so no more fuel waste.
If you move app icons to a different screen one by one, try another way and move everything at once. Grab one icon and hold it, and then use your other finger to tap on all the other icons you want to move. Voila! They're now added to the one you're holding. Once you've selected them all, move them to the other part of the screen. All done. There's also a quicker way to close all of your applications. You probably swipe them up one by one, and sometimes it takes forever. You can do it 3 times faster if you use 3 fingers when swiping. This way, you'll be swiping away 3 tabs at once. Sometimes we give our phones to someone for some reason. Yeah, that'd be pretty terrifying, and sometimes even embarrassing when someone's scrolling through your phone. Things get much better once you learn this trick. There's a guided access feature on your iPhone. When activated, it will not allow the person to leave a particular app. Go to Settings, Accessibility, and then scroll down to find the guided access to activate it. Enable it and set a passcode. Someone takes your iPhone and is trying to unlock it with your face. If you don't want it, you can simply say, "Hey Siri, whose phone is this?" This command will make Siri lock the Face and Touch ID and force anyone who wants to unlock your phone to type in the password. You can disguise any app as something different. Go to Shortcuts, hit the plus, and tap the lower panel. Add the action Open App. Tap Choose and search for the app you want to hide and select it. Then tap it again. Add it to your home screen, set the name, and choose the icon picture. You can also hide some of your photos. To do this, open the photo you want to hide. Tap the Share button, and then tap Hide. To find the hidden album, go to Photos, then Albums, and scroll down till under Utilities, where you see the hidden album. So it's really not that hidden. But if you don't want the hidden album to show up, you can hide it as well. Go to Settings, then Photos. Scroll down and switch off the hidden album mode. To bring it back, switch it back on. There's also a possibility to add captions to your photos. If you do this, you don't need to scroll through all of your photos to find the one you need. So, if you make a photo of your friend's address, just open the photo, swipe up, and you'll see the Add a Caption field. Type in the keyword like address, and then Done. If you ever need it later, instead of scrolling down through all of your photos, you can simply go to the search field, type in address, and the photo will pop up. You can drag and drop a photo to any app. Just choose it, tap, and hold it. Keep holding it, and with your other finger, go to another app where you want to send it and put it there. You can set a live photo as wallpaper. Choose the photo you like. Click the Share button and scroll down to Use as a wallpaper. Set as only a lock screen wallpaper. Lock your phone. Now you see the picture. Tap it and hold down, and it'll start moving. You make a screenshot of your home screen to show one particular app to a friend. If you make just a simple screenshot, you'll have to specify in the message which row it's in. Not anymore. After making a screenshot, tap on it. When you're in the editing mode, tap on the plus button and then on the magnifier. This feature will add a magnifying circle to your photo to zoom in on a particular space. Simply adjust its size and the degree of zooming in or out to magnify a specific thing on the screenshot. In Safari, you can make a screenshot of the whole page at once, not only the part that's on your screen. Take a regular screenshot and then tap on it to go to the editing mode. On the top panel, select the option Full Page. Definitely handy because you don't have to do several screenshots anymore. You scroll through all the videos on YouTube or photos on Instagram and really go far down. No need to go all the way up again once you want to get back to the top. Just tap the time in the upper left corner and it'll take you to the top automatically. If you sleep with music or a podcast, there is a way to set a timer to keep playing all night long. To do this, go to the clock, then to the timer. Set the time and then go to the option When the timer ends. Scroll down to the very end, and you'll find the Stop Playing button there. Press it and then tap Done. After the time you've set, your media will stop playing in the background. There are new cool features in iMessage. If you want to respond to a particular message with an emoji, you can just pick the one you need and drag it onto the message. Place it anywhere you want, and that's the way the other person will see it. When sending a message, tap and hold the Send button. You can choose one of several different animation effects to send it. Swipe left to look through all the sending effects. Then you can send it, and the person will see it the way you've chosen. If you want to delete a message you just typed in, just shake your phone and confirm. If you've changed your mind and want to get it back, just shake it again. Another typing trick is to use numbers. If you need to type in a number, you probably type the 1, 2, 3 to go to the symbols menu. Then pick a number, then tap ABC to come back. This is pretty annoying, and the good news is that you don't have to do it. Instead, just press and hold the 1, 2, 3 menu. The numbers will appear, so you can simply move your finger towards the digit you need. Once you stop holding your finger, you'll be back to the text menu, and you can keep typing. Turns out, you can change the colors of your emojis. Go to the settings, then to accessibility. Then choose display and text size. Then go to color filters and turn them on. You can choose one of several color filters, and it'll totally change the color appearance of your device, including the emojis. There's a way to save your current location quickly. This can be really helpful when you park your car and need to find it afterwards. It can be saved with a couple of taps, so once you're somewhere you want to remember, just tap and hold the Maps icon and choose Mark My Location from the menu that popped up. Your location will be dropped, and later on, you can find a way back here. You can turn text you see anywhere into typed text on your cell phone. Go to Notes. Hit this option in the middle. This will split your screen in two. Scan any text you want and it'll be automatically converted into text in the note. You probably know that on the side of your cell phone, you can mute your phone so that you don't hear any calls or notifications. But if there's one or several people you wouldn't want to miss a call from, you can unmute just them. Go to your contacts, find the person, tap Edit Contacts, and switch on the emergency bypass mode. Now, even when your phone is muted, if this person calls you, you'll hear it. Some apps constantly track your location, and do it only while you're using the app. Turn off location permission for non-essential apps to spare up some juice. Restart your phone once a week to keep its RAM from getting stuffed with unnecessary data, which will also make your phone slower. Your display might not need to be on 100% brightness all the time. You can keep it on auto mode if you don't want to constantly mess with it. Otherwise, lower it a bit because it will spend a lot of your battery. Use low power mode. Apps might run a bit slower, but your phone will charge faster and spend less battery. Turn off push notifications. Do this in the app setting and turn off the ones you don't care about. There are also simple things you can do to make your smartphone last longer. Don't overcharge it. This might overheat your phone, which won't be good in the long run. Don't charge it in direct sunlight either. In fact, don't expose your phone to direct sunlight at all. Keep it cool if you can. Don't play with it while it's charging. It's another way phones get overcharged. The most important thing is to get a good case. Order one before you get your new phone. Imagine you just got out of the store with your latest gen smartphone, but you haven't gotten it protected yet. Suddenly, you trip and your phone slips out of your hand. Your hard-earned money goes down the drain. Instead, apply its protective case as soon as you get it out of the box. Buy a screen protector too, to prevent it from getting scratched. Even if your phone doesn't get completely ruined after falling, you might still have to pay for its repairs. Don't use a cheap adapter to charge it. It can pose a threat to your phone's battery. With time, your phone screen will get some dirt on it, and so will its ports. Take a bit out of your day to clean out any lint or dirt in the charging port, microphone, and speaker grill. See you Saturday! You hang up and realize you have 2 days before the main family get-together of the year. Your shopping list is ready, so you head to the largest supermarket in town. You follow the list to the letter, grabbing everything you need as fast as possible. The cart is full of fruit, vegetables, dairy, meat, fish, bread. Well done you! 1 hour later, you get back home and proudly hand in the shopping bags to your grandma. She takes out the items one by one and frowns more and more at each of them. Turns out the fish and meat you picked aren't fresh at all, and those bananas and greens won't make it till Saturday either. Grandma says she'll save the day. You make a good snack to not go shopping hungry. Now you won't buy the stuff you don't need. Then you get in the car together to do it all over again. Smart shopping means cruising the perimeter of the store where you can find all the fresh and healthy stuff. Fruits, vegetables, dairy, meat, and fish. They normally reserve the center aisles for junk food, so you decide to skip them altogether. Your first stop is the produce section. Grandma says you should spend the most time here. And it's a good thing you arrived before lunch. Most grocers get fresh produce when they just open, or later in the evening before they close. You reach out for packaged tomatoes, but Gran stops you. Prepackaged fruit and vegetables are usually more expensive. Plus, they don't let you check each item. A good ripe tomato can weigh double as much as an unripe one. It should have smooth and firm skin and smell like a tomato. No! Don't put that poor bruised thing into your cart. Bruises on produce are a perfect breeding ground for bacteria. Try to find firm cucumbers that have no blemishes or soft spots. The best ones are dark green. If you see yellow spots, it means the thing is overly ripe and will likely taste odd. The same goes for peppers. They must be of intense color with no stains. Now turn it upside down and count the bumps. 4 bumps means fewer seeds and better taste. 2 to 3 bumps mean bitter taste. The stem of a fresh pepper is always green, firm, and crispy. Take these potatoes with sprouts out of your cart right now. Go for the firm and smooth ones, without the wrinkled skin, soft dark spots, or cuts. Pick only green lettuce with no holes or brown edges. The brighter its shade of green, the better. Moving on to fruits and berries. Gran explains that a ripe watermelon will come with a dry brown stem. This one with a dark yellow must have been resting on the ground long enough to get sweet. The same's true for melons. The ones with a yellowish bark is sweeter, as it had received enough sunlight by the time they picked it. Check out the stem of the bunch before taking those bananas home. The stem must be green to light yellow and not turning brown. Only take single bananas if you want to eat them right away. They survive longer in clusters. Never judge a mango by its color. Instead, gently squeeze it. A ripe mango will give in a bit, and it will also have a fruity aroma at the stem end. Smaller fruit is normally sweeter, but that rule doesn't work for strawberries. Different sorts come in different sizes, so bigger ones can be yummy too. Their ripening ends once they've been picked up, so go for bright red berries with fresh green leaves. Those would look dry and wilt if they had picked the berries a long time ago. That lemon won't give you much juice. It's pale, which means it's an older one. This firm, unblemished one with smooth skin will be way better. It also feels heavier, and that's a good sign as well. You're shopping for a big event, but otherwise, you'd never buy too much produce at a time. If it's fresh and organic, it won't naturally last too long, and always opt for fruits and veggies that are in season. They'll be less expensive and of better quality. Next stop, honey. This one looks odd to you as it has those crystals at the bottom of the jar, but Grandma explains it's a sign of freshness. It's normal for honey to crystallize when the temperature drops. It's also a good sign it looks opaque. It means it's more natural and healthy and not pasteurized. You check the list and realize you still need some bread. You already know the best option is the whole grain kind. You pick it up and study the label. Made with whole grains won't do. This one that says whole wheat flour is good. The fewer ingredients, the better. If you can't pronounce the name of the additive, you don't want it in your bread. It shouldn't have artificial flavors, colors, or preservatives. You lightly press on the bread you just chose. Bingo! It goes back to its original shape, which means it's high quality. If you see your finger mark on it, it could have been previously frozen, or the baking process went wrong. You move towards the canned food section, and Gran jumps in your way. She's sure canned foods are bad for your health, as they contain a huge amount of sodium. You convince her to at least study the labels. You should always pick canned foods that don't have too much salt or sugar in them. The ones preserved in water or their own juice are the healthiest, as they have fewer artificial ingredients in them. You find some tuna packed in olive oil. The package is perfectly closed, so it's all good. You know you should never take a rusty can. It can be dangerous. Okay, looks like you've got everything you need, except for meat and dairy. You know you should always grab those last. They can spoil without a fridge if shopping gets too long. You make some room in your shopping cart to protect your fruit from raw meat juice, just in case. Red meat should be of dark color. Purple, red, and brown are all good. Pork should be the shade of light blushing pink. It should smell good. It can't be pungent in any way. If you see many fibers, it must be some tough meat with a strong flavor. Beef tenderloin won't have any grains because it's super tender. White flecks and streaks of fat throughout the muscle are another sign it's juicy and tender. If you aren't planning to cook meat straight away, pick the one with the latest best before date. You can still eat it safely after that date, but it tastes better before it. Dirty marks within the packaging are a red flag. Someone must have handled it with dirty hands. If the chicken you're about to buy has skin, it should be paler than the flesh, not yellow or light brown. The edges mustn't look dry. The cuts must be smooth and uniformly sized. If it's not butchered well, there might be small joints and bones in your lunch. Any chicken that has been in the container for more than 2 days should better stay on the shelf and not in your cart. Gran picks up a fish and stares it in the eye. She explains a good fish will have protruding ones with shiny black pupils. The skin of fresh fish should be silky, not sticky or dull. Squeeze the fillet. If there's a trace of your finger mark on it, it's no good. The final stop of the day, dairy products. You should reach for the back of the shelf to find the ones with the most distant expiration date. The same rule works for frozen foods, packaged foods, and eggs. Stockers locate the newer ones behind the older items. Grandma recommends choosing pasteurized milk. No raw products will land in your cart today. When milk goes through pasteurization, they heat it up to fight off disease-causing bacteria. It doesn't take away the nutritional value of the product, so no worries about that. When picking the best yogurt, pay attention to the label. The more words you see on it, the better. 3 basic ingredients are enough to make it work. The rest should be preservatives and sugar you don't need. Live and active cultures is something you want to see on the ingredients list. Don't forget to get some cheese. Not this one though. The soft kinds like ricotta, cream cheese, goat cheese, or shredded cheese shouldn't have any mold on them. It can penetrate inside easily. Some mold is fine on hard cheeses. You can carefully cut the area around it and still eat it. Yay! You're done with shopping. Time to go home and cook. Put oil-absorbent paper on a clean, smooth surface. Then, squeeze your toothpaste evenly on the paper blob by blob. Sprinkle it with baking soda, and when the toothpaste pieces solidify, put them in a small portable box or bottle. When you need to brush your teeth in the wild, just take 1 blob, put it in your mouth, and use your toothbrush as usual. If your condiment collection takes up too much space in your picnic basket, use some straws to create mini versions of your favorite spices. Cut 1/3 of a straw, pinch one edge with forceps, and melt it on fire to seal the edges together. Then, use a kitchen funnel to pour the spices into this mini bottle and seal the second edge using the same technique. Sign the name of the spice and place it in a small box. When your shoes get wet in the wild, find some stones of a suitable size. Put the stones in a pot with water and boil them. Place the heated stones carefully inside your shoes. You can use kitchen tongs or a ladle to carry the stones. The shoes will soon get dry. If you don't want to boil the stones, here's another way. Take a plastic bottle, pour hot water inside and wrap the bottle with toilet paper. Then place the bottle in your shoe and wait for 30 minutes. It should be enough to make them crispy and comfortable. If you're eating soup in the wild, you can cut an emergency spoon out of a plastic bottle. Cut out the shape of a spoon with a knife in the place where the walls of the bottle meet the bottom. And don't forget to add a comfortable handle. Garlic and onions can be easily peeled with a metal bottle cap. Speaking of metal caps, you can open a bottle with one of those using your wedding band, metal spoon, or another bottle. Went fishing but forgot your knife at home? Use a carrot to peel the fish. Cut the carrot at an angle and rub the fish scales with one half of the carrot. The scales will easily come off. Punch holes in a cork of a plastic bottle and screw it tight. Then cut off the top of the bottle and turn it upside down. Place a rolled napkin or toilet paper in the neck of the bottle. Then put some coal, grass, and stones and pour turbid water into this handmade filter. Later, you can boil this filtered water and drink it if you get thirsty in the wild. Melt a bar of soap and draw it up into a syringe. Squeeze the soap into an empty pill pack and seal the template with tinfoil. Use one of the tiny soaps to wash your hands anytime. To make your grilled patties juicier, press a groove in the middle of the patty and put ice on it. Wait for the ice to melt and fry as usual. You can make a camping washing machine using an ordinary bucket with a lid. Cut a small hole in the middle of the lid and insert a plunger handle into it. Pour the laundry detergent into the bucket. Put in clothes and water, close the lid, and rinse the clothes with a plunger until the stains are removed. If you can't pick out gum stuck on your clothes, put a piece of ice on it, and the gum will tear off easily. You can also put your clothes in a freezer for a while and then tear off the gum. Detergent bottles are usually too big to take on a camping trip. Take a sheet of thin paper and spread the detergent evenly on the paper. Cut the paper into small square pieces and put them in a waterproof box. When you need to wash the dishes, just put one piece on a wet sponge. While walking in the woods, collect tree branches, about the width of a finger. Bring the branches home, wash and cut them into equal pieces. Put them in a bowl and glue the sticks together in the shape of the bowl, using hot melted glue. Your stylish handmade fruit tray is ready. If the lid of the tin just wouldn't open that easily, try this life hack. Wrap the lid with adhesive tape. Then, gently pull it open. If your kettle is full of scale, pour in some water and put a piece of lemon inside. Boil the water, then wash the kettle, and the scale will be gone. In case you get hungry in the wild without a fishing rod, try another way to catch some fish. Take a large empty plastic bottle, cut off the top part, and turn it upside down. Tie the two sides of the bottle mouth with a rope. Crush some instant noodles and put them inside the bottle. Throw the bottle into the river. This trap will surely attract fish. Make matches that will never get blown out in windy weather. Wrap the matches in napkins and dip them in melted wax. Wait for them to dry, and voila! You have matches that won't go out. You can use a basic razor to crumble chocolate into your ice cream or coffee. Take an even number of jars and paint them your favorite color. Glue them to the surface of a wooden chopping board from both sides, and then put a rope on the side of the chopping board as the handle rope. Your brand new tableware storage box for outdoor camping is ready. Nitrogen in hair promotes nutrients. Put the hair you lose every day in a flower pot and your plants will grow stronger and healthier. Place several instant noodles in a baking dish. Add a thick layer of cheese. Sprinkle it with all the seasoning bags from the noodle packages. Then, pour ketchup and other toppings like pepperoni or mushrooms in the gaps between the noodles. Add some more cheese and bake your meal until the cheese melts. Super delicious noodles are ready. Instant noodles are also a great fire starter. Take clean disposable paper cups and use a needle to poke out decorative rows. Then, use a knife to cut a small cross at the bottom and put the cup on a lamp belt. Repeat this with other cups until your own unique lamp belt is ready. You can also paint the cups in your favorite color before placing them on the lamp belt. Egg packaging can be used to store sauces. Dip the root of the rose in honey, then insert the root in a potato and trim off the branches. Plant this potato in a pot. This is how you can grow your own roses in a pot. Brush your shoes with toothpaste and a toothbrush, and they will get as white as your teeth. Use a hula hoop and a bathroom curtain to organize a bathroom anywhere in the forest. Attach the curtain to a hula hoop with hooks and tie it to a tree with a string. You can also use this tip to build a temporary dressing room. If you don't want to take the entire package of tape on a hike, wrap the necessary amount around your lighter, and then just cut off a piece when you need it. If you need to move a heavy sofa, you can put banana peels under the legs of the sofa. Furniture will slide on the floor easily. After eating a meal from the lunchbox, a lot of oil stays on its surface. To make cleaning easier, squeeze some detergent into your lunchbox, put a piece of absorbent paper, add some water, cover the box and shake it back and forth. And then rinse it with water. The lunchbox will get clean immediately. If you urgently need slippers, but you have only 2 soda bottles on hand, squeeze them and stick your feet under the labels. Your stylish slippers are ready. You can use a jar to make a candlestick or a mini stove for cooking. Make one vertical cut in the jar, and then make 2 horizontal cuts on the top and on the bottom. Open the 2 sides like doors and put a candle inside the jar. If you need to cook food, just put a bunch of small sticks inside the jar and light a fire. Then, put your pot on top of the jar, and don't forget to feed the fire with new sticks until the meal is ready. Put dry foliage under your sweater. It will help keep you warm. To make thicker matches for lighting a fire, wind 5 matches tightly in one bundle with a thread. Then, dip the matches in melted wax. Wait until the wax hardens and put the matches in a box. If the zipper on your backpack or tent doesn't slide well and it's difficult for you to zip it, you can use wax. Take a candle and rub it along the entire length of the zipper.
Lucky iPhone users, beware! Your favorite gadget sometimes gets viruses too. One day you may see an ad notification from your calendar, and no matter how much time you spend on deleting those events, they just won't disappear. To put an end to this misadventure, go to Settings, Calendar, Accounts, and delete all of them except for iCloud and Gmail ones. There may be really few viruses for iPhone, but you're never protected from juice jacking. If you don't want to be the one whose data accidentally leaked, public chargers are a no-go. Airport, cafe, public transport, you name it. It only concerns the USB chargers. A good old adapter won't let you down. Be scrupulous about various permissions too. Make sure the apps you download are from a protected source and aren't fake. There are many shortcuts available on the internet, but most of them aren't safe. Read the app reviews before downloading. Yeah, sounds obvious, but it does help save both your time and phone. Going stealthy is vital for your privacy. If you don't have a special screen protector, just adjust the brightness level. It's harder for anyone to see your past this way. Airplane mode isn't only great for keeping your charge, but also at keeping your data safe. The logic is simple. If the phone is offline, how can anyone get your data? The iPhone runs out of charge really fast when it's cold because of the aluminum case. Aluminum gets cold way faster than plastic. By the way, an Android runs out of charge slower just because most Android phones have plastic cases. And nope, there's no remedy or piece of advice. Sorry guys. It happens to anyone at least. If you accidentally dropped your phone in the snow or just left it outside and it got frozen, don't charge it the very same moment you bring it back. Leave it for 20 to 30 minutes to get a bit warmer. Then you might want to get a water eject shortcut. It's not set by default, but you can easily get one by just Googling it. There are also a lot of free apps that eject the water from the dynamics with the power of sound. If you can't delete a certain app for some reason, check your settings. Go to Settings, Screen Time, Content, and Privacy Restrictions. In iTunes and App Store purchases, there should be a tick on Don't Allow. Change it for Allow, and now you can delete any app. One of the most bugging problems for all iPhone users is when you run out of memory. Even if you delete the photos, there's still not enough space. Go to Settings, iPhone Storage, and make sure that recently deleted photos are actually deleted. If not, delete them in the Storage section. Keyboards have their secrets too. To end a sentence with a period and start a new sentence, just tap the space button twice. Also, if you prefer typing holding the phone with one hand only, choose the right keyboard. Whenever you change the language, there are 3 keyboard icons below. The left one is for the left hand only, the central is for both hands, and the right one is, ta-da, for the right hand only. What a surprise. If you tap the uppercase button twice, you'll get Caps Lock. Many letters also have hidden symbols. If you hold your finger on a button, you'll see them. Now you can type en français, respecting all the characters. Okay, and if you accidentally deleted that long message you've been trying to write, just shake your phone. It'll activate the undo typing function. Hold the space button in the notes, or whatever text you're dealing with. This way, you can easily slide across the keyboard to get to any part of the text. The note drawings can be nice and smooth even if you don't have a stylus. When you finish your drawing, hold it for a second with your finger. iPhone will automatically make it look better. No more curved lines. Slow Wi-Fi can be really annoying, but your gadget knows how to handle it. Go to your Wi-Fi settings and see if the data saver mode is on. If not, just tap the slider and voila! Now you're surfing the net at a completely different speed. Sooner or later, any phone gets slower, even if it used to be a brand new 256GB iPhone. In this case, you just need to clear the RAM. Turn on the Assistive Touch, it'll be of great help. Then squeeze the power button, and before sliding the Turn Off menu, press the Home button on the Assistive Touch. Your RAM is as good as new now. Assistive Touch can also help you set new functions to simple taps. Go to Settings, General, Accessibility, and in the Assistive Touch section, you can change any commands in the Custom Actions menu. For a double tap, I chose the Screenshot, since a combination of Home plus Power button seems a bit inconvenient. To make a screenshot, tap the Accessibility menu circle twice. To change the battery icon color, go to Accessibility, choose Display and Text Size, and slide the Smart Invert button. The battery icon color turns blue now. If you increase the contrast, it will get a lighter blue shade. When your phone is on charge, the indicator will turn purple. Ooh, magic! To make your iPhone louder, go to Settings, Music, and find the equalizer. It's called EQ in the menu. Late night option will make your phone somewhat 20% louder than it used to be. Louder at night? Really? To record a video without being noticed, go to the camera. Start video recording. Go back to the notification center. The video will be recorded, but it won't be seen on the screen. Hey, why do you even want to do that? Just because you can? You can also set a unique vibration for any of your contacts. Go to Settings, Sounds, and open the ringtone settings. You usually have the default vibration, but if you scroll down a bit, you're going to see the Custom section. Tap any rhythm that you like and save it. You can set it for any of your contacts. I know you must have dozens of tabs in your browser, or probably 100, at least I do. To close them all in one touch, hold the Done button in the lower left corner and choose the Close All X tabs. I closed 336 last time. That's insane. If you accidentally closed all the tabs and need to go back to some of the recent ones, hold the plus button in the middle. It'll open the list of recently closed tabs, so all you gotta do is scroll down, hoping to find the one you didn't want to close. iPhones may not have the most endurable batteries, but they beat everyone when it comes to photo quality. Turn on the grid in the camera settings, go to General, choose Camera to enable the grid. It can help you make better compositions in the photo. By the way, people with iPhones don't need a separate app for QR readers, since all the iPhones have them built in. Turn on the camera and point the camera to the code. you'll see the pop-up window on the top of the screen. Tap the window and you'll go straight to the browser to whatever link the QR code had. If it doesn't work, enable the Scan QR Codes function in the camera settings. If you need to find some special word combination when you're reading an online article, go to the search bar and type the word you're interested in. You're going to see 3 sections: Google Search, and don't need it; Bookmarks and History, don't need it; and On This Page, tap here. The word you need's going to be highlighted with yellow, plus there will be a special navigation bar on the bottom with the arrows up and down to look for the keyword easily. If you like writing long, romantic letters in your notes but don't want anyone to read them, then set a pass to any of your notes. There are 2 ways how to do that, depending on what iPhone model you have. For instance, for iPhone 6, you gotta slide from right to left and you'll see 3 icons: Lock, Folder, and Bin. Use the bin if the romantic letter is bad, and the lock to protect it from peeky eyes. Set the pass, but make sure you actually remember it. You can't delete the pass. If this one didn't work, just tap and hold the note itself, and you'll see the password bar in the dropping menu. Set the pass, and from now on, no one's gonna know about romantic letters to Juliet that you've been writing all night long. Good night, Romeo.
Hey buddy, looks like you had some fun in the great outdoors. As adorable as those paw prints look, your mama still needs to clean them. Spreading soda over the carpet and then vacuuming it works like magic for such cases. Artistic people can be messy sometimes. No judgment here, I know it's all part of the creative process. But this hack will actually help save time from cleaning only to paint more. I think that's more than enough laundry detergent. Yep, she agrees with me. There's a way to make sure he uses the right amount next time. Just put the ice tray in the freezer and you'll have yourself jelly detergent cubes. Hey, this'll save you money too, you know. Cleaning your brushes is such a bore. It's definitely something that tests one's patience. This shaving foam hack will save you a lot of time. I feel like that amount of hair will clog the sink though. Remember what parents always say, wash your hands before eating something. But looks like that's not an easy task with those melted soap bars. A couple of rubber bands will help you save your soap. It won't be touching water all the time, and therefore, it'll last longer. Oh man, I hate it when bottles get all dirty inside. If you're not Mr. Fantastic with the ability to stretch your body into any shape, then this looks like an impossible task. Hey, wait, maybe I was looking at it the wrong way. Magneto's powers will work perfectly fine here. I feel like you'll need a stronger magnet, however. Wow, this bottle looks brand new now! Don't you just hate that cooking and cleaning takes forever, but eating the dish you made takes like 15 minutes? Guess that guy leaves all the hard work to the lady. Don't worry, miss, there's a way you can avoid this disaster. Just cover the surfaces with stretch film, and that's it! Now you don't need to get anxious about all the cleaning you'll have to do later. Hope this won't cause you to be late for your work. Because how are you going to explain this to your boss? You can't just say, I had to wait for the stinky odor to go away. It's always a real struggle to get the corners, am I right? But it's nothing a couple of straws can't fix. No dust left behind is the motto. You can firmly clean all the nooks and crannies that the regular vacuum head can't get to. If you're a jar collector like I am, then you already got everything you'll need for this hack. This is what being smart looks like, everyone. By the way, looks like you've been postponing doing the dishes for a while now, huh? Don't worry, no judgments. We've all been there. Those toothbrushes were basically swimming in there. but the glass filling up with water is inevitable, really. However, Orbeez balls can make the process a lot slower. Somebody needs to replace the paper towel. But don't head to the store just yet. I suggest you ditch paper towels altogether and go for this reusable option. You'll be saving a lot of bucks. Thank me later. Whoa, have you been collecting dirty makeup sponges or what? Don't use them until they're all clean, otherwise I'm pretty sure they'll give you pimples. Looks like this is gonna take a while. But the satisfaction you'll get once you see them all clean will be worth it. These kind of look like Easter eggs to me. By the way, do you really need that many sponges to do your makeup? It's all fun and games until someone spills all the glitter on the floor. Worry not, we got you. Hey, good to see you recycling. No, you don't need a bigger bin, trust me. All you need is to know this one hack. And let's get this one thing straight. I know this is science, but it sure feels like magic. Honey, I shrunk the trash. Look at the difference here. It's a relief to see you don't have a pile of dirty dishes like the lady before. But how are you going to explain that sink? Seems like you've been ignoring it for quite some time now. That's why you need something strong to scrub there. But I have a better solution, one that won't tire you. Just apply a coat of dish soap and soda mixture all around the sink and wait. I wouldn't believe how it works wonders if I didn't see it with my own eyes. You're gonna hurt your back and knees cleaning like this. You know, robot vacuum cleaners don't need coffee breaks, right? So put that thing to work. In the meantime, you can just relax and maybe even start reading the book you bought 6 months ago. No matter how many times you clean the stove, it always gets dirty at the end of the day, right? Well, not anymore. Hey, I think I'm gonna give this a try using glitter glue. It'll help make things more fun. You should have bought a trash bin with a lid. To avoid the awful stench, you know? Although this hack won't make the trash smell good or anything, it will at least help keep your bin fresh and nice. I know this is not a food hacks video, but that doesn't stop me from wanting some snacks now. Even if you're too old to play with slimes, it might be a good idea to keep one at home for stuff like this. If I were you, I would still disinfect that with antibacterial wipes or something, just in case. Hey, it's her turn to pick the movie now. Uh-oh, someone's forgotten to add laundry powder to the shopping list. That's okay, you can still make your own with everyday things such as baking soda and a soap bar. This lady is one of the lucky ones because she has a dishwasher. Placing a piece of lemon, even one that's been juiced, will help freshen the load and leave your dishes looking shinier. This is why I never wear white socks if I'm going to visit someone else's house. Because I don't really want to see how dirty their floors might be, you know? Using bleach for situations like this may help, but it might also ruin your garments. That's why this hack is the better option to make white clothes look great again. You might want to clean the microwave after you're done, though. This phone case looks like it's been through some tough stuff. Let's give it the second chance it deserves. All you need to do is apply WD-40 spray, pour some soda, and rinse it out. By the way, if you have sensitive skin, you might want to wear protective gloves to avoid irritation. Better safe than sorry. Cleaning stubborn stains on a glass stovetop can be tricky. There's always the risk of causing scratches on the surface. That's why any type of scrubbing or scraping action is not advised. Did you know that according to one poll, an average person spends more than 6 days a year washing dishes? Then there's all the other cleaning stuff that needs to be done. But knowing the right hacks will save you a lot of time and make your life so much easier. Wow, your shoes are definitely cleaner than this house. Who knew shoelaces would work like a charm when it comes to getting rid of all the dust and rust? Is it time to go to bed yet, or are you tired of all the work you've done around the house? I was being sarcastic. Your partner did all the work. So saving her toothbrush is the least you can do. We know how much homeowners love to make their houses picture perfect. It can soon become a struggle though, once you try to flatten out those pesky corners of a new rug. But there is one genius trick that can help. Just plop a few ice cubes and a heavy object on the corner, and voila! Flat rug, no more tripping over the rolled up edges. Sitting in your car, frozen and grumpy, watching your windows slowly defrost is about as fun as watching paint dry. And let's not forget the disaster that is wiping the mist off the inside. But hey, if you don't want to risk getting slapped with a fine, you better give this funky demisting trick a try. People have tried it all, but apparently it was the cat litter that won the condensation game. Just grab an old sock or pair of tights, fill them up with cat litter, tie it up, and plop it under your car's windows. It's so effective that it should do the trick in just 10 minutes. The cat litter works by absorbing the moisture in the air. Cleaning our stoves ain't fun either, let's be honest. But fear not, because one cleaning guru on TikTok has come to the rescue with a genius trick that'll make cleaning your stove a breeze. All you need is some oven spray, cling film, and a lot of patience. Start by spraying some cleaning product on the stove. Then cover the whole thing in cling film. Here's where your patience will be needed. You'll have to wait a whole day for the cleaning product to work its magic. But trust me, once you remove that cling film, the stains will have melted off. That leftover mess on your stove can be scrubbed off easily now. Finish the job using a regular cloth for the rest of the grind. It's time you forget about fancy schmancy car trash cans. Why waste your money on those when you can repurpose a plastic cereal container? It's small enough to fit in your car, and the flip-top opening means your trash won't go flying all over the place when you take sharp turns. Plus, just line it with a plastic grocery bag, and you're ready to go. Feel like your feet need a bit of pampering? You can skip the expensive spa day at your local salon. All you need is a sanitary pad, some toothpaste, and baking soda. Mix the toothpaste with the baking soda powder and spread it evenly on the pad. Place it on the soles of your feet and slip a sock on so it's nice and snuggly. The pad should keep the mixture and moisture in so you don't make a mess all over your house. After an hour or two, rinse off the toothpaste mixture with plenty of water. You'll notice how soft the soles of your feet have become. For that extra step, add some moisturizer too. Those trusty sanitary pads can be used for all sorts of stuff around your house too, like for freshening up your drawers. Just spritz some perfume on a pad. Place it next to your clothes of choice and voila! Your gym clothes, for example, will smell like a fragrant bouquet. And don't forget to throw one in your gym bag too. Oh boy, time to give those lampshades the love they deserve. Grab a trusty lint roller and watch in amazement as you unveil a whole new world of colors underneath that forever dust. Who knew your lampshades were secretly chameleon? Say goodbye to dog hair and hello to your new household best friend, the rubber squeegee brush. This bad boy can snatch up so much fur from your carpet that you'll be wondering if you even own a pet. Just stroke it short and quick over your rug and watch it unleash a furry storm. And if you're wondering about your hardwood floors, fear not. The rubber bristles work like magic to create one giant fur ball. Save yourself from cleaning cabinets and furniture tops by hooking them up with fashionable hats. They're made out of wax paper or paper bags. The dirt and grease will stick to your new accessories, and when it's time for a new look, just swap them out every few months. You know that feeling when you finally peel off a bumper sticker or parking permit, but then you're left with a sticky mess? There's a simple solution though. Slap a wet piece of newspaper on top of that gunk and let it marinate for 15 minutes. Then poof, the glue will be as soft as a fluffy cloud and you can wipe it away with ease. If your dishwasher is stinking up your kitchen, it's time to get your detective hat on. Check that filter for any leftovers lurking in there. Then add a splash of vinegar to your next hot wash cycle. Those pesky food particles could be the culprits behind your dishwasher's funky fragrance. Get ready to be a Vaseline wizard. Say goodbye to pesky polish smudges with a simple solution. Slather some Vaseline around your nails before you go to town with a brush. Once you're done, wipe away the excess without the need for any nail polish remover. And if you're feeling fancy, make that perfume last even longer by adding a touch of Vaseline to your neck and wrists. It's like a scent superhero, keeping those fragrance molecules from flying away too soon. Have you checked out your shower curtain lately? It might be looking pretty grimy and gross. Toss that bad boy in the washing machine with a couple of towels and voila, no more soap scum stains. The towels will help with scrubbing away all that mess while they're tumbling in the washing machine. Say goodbye to single socks with a strip of foam pipe insulation. Measure and cut each piece, then place it in that sneaky gap between your washer and dryer or wall. Those pesky socks will never go missing again. Got a wobbly table that's cramping your style? Your trusty bottle cork is here to save the day. Slice off a piece of that bad boy, glue it to the wobbly leg, and voila! You've got yourself a sturdy surface to rest your drink on. A hammer is more than just a smashing tool. The back of this tool can actually hold a nail for you. No more risking your fingers or giving yourself a thumbectomy. Just slide it into the claw and bam, you're ready to nail it. Want to know the saucy way to pick up a sizzling lid? Ditch those boring oven mitts and grab yourself a pair of tongs. But wait, don't just go in head first. Use the middle. Trust me, it's hot and it's effective. Care to find out how to keep your dressing gown from slipping and sliding all over the place? Got you covered. Instead of going through all the loops, just place the cord through the front ones. You don't even need it to be wrapped around you. All the business will be in the front. Tie that cord up nice and tight, and you'll be strutting around in no time. Bet you didn't know the right way to light a multi-wick candle. You'll never hurt the tips of your fingers again. Truth is, you don't light them one by one. Just light the first one. Then angle the candle in the right position so it lights up the other ones too. So, apparently, we've all been using deodorant wrong. Who knew? You're supposed to lather that stuff on before going to bed. That's because our underarms are supposed to soak it in overnight for maximum effectiveness. I'm here to save you from the USB struggle bus. You know that symbol on the cord? Yeah, it's not just there for decoration. Align the seam with the opposite edge of the tongue, and voila! You're in business. No more flipping it upside down and sideways like a crazy person. Thank me later.
You can turn ordinary matches into waterproof ones. Apply a thin coat of nail polish to the matches and let it dry. Once they're ready, they'll stay dry enough to start a fire even if you drop the matches in the water. If you get lost somewhere during the winter and need a drink, then don't eat snow. It has much more air than water, so you won't even feel much more hydrated. Your body also wastes a lot of energy trying to eat it. Even worse, you might lower your body temperature and could even get sick. If you find yourself face to face with a coyote or a wolf, don't turn your back. Slowly retreat while facing the animal. This might only work for a single animal though. If you meet a pack, then the most important thing is to make sure that they don't surround you. Back away towards a tree and press your back against it. Then choose the right moment and climb it as quickly as possible. Several layers of clothing will warm you better than one warm fur coat or down jacket. Air will be trapped between the clothing layers, insulating you and keeping your body warm. If you get lost in the woods, always try to sleep a little above the ground. You can lay on a layer of branches and leaves as a makeshift bed, or stretch a hammock out between some trees. At night, the temperature drops and the ground becomes cold. Even if you build a fire, it could go out while you sleep, and the ground will be sapping your body heat. You're in a boat in the middle of the sea, no food, no fishing net, and you're hungry. It was supposed to be only a 3-hour tour. Well, guess what? You can catch fish with the help of shoelaces and any object – phone, watch, or keys. The shadow cast by the boat in the sea can attract fish, and a reflective object can work as bait. Tie your keys to your shoelaces and use them as a fishing rod. Even if a fish doesn't bite, activities like this are a good way to maintain a healthy mind on the open sea. A short meditation can save you from a panic attack. You need to focus on your breathing and try to slow it down. Your brain will quickly calm down and turn its focus away from the panic. Oxygen masks in airplanes work on the same principle. When you control your breathing, your attention is redirected away from whatever bad thing is happening. You can make a torch out of a log. Put a small log vertically, make a deep star-shaped cut on the top. Put dry grass, leaves, and sticks inside. Once you're done, set fire to the log and watch it burn for up to 3 hours. This should work the same regardless of the size and type of wood. Now, if you meet an angry grizzly bear, never try to run away because the bear can easily outrun you. Instead, lie down and don't move. Grizzlies only usually attack when they see a threat, so they'll often leave you alone if you show them that you won't cause them any problems. This only works with grizzly bears though. If a confrontation is unavoidable, back away slowly and use bear spray. If you don't have any, pepper spray will work similarly and should disorient the bear and scare it away. Or not. Don't eat berries or mushrooms in the forest if you don't know exactly what they are. They could be poisonous. If you have no other option, eat the inner bark of maples, birches, and pines to fill your stomach. Use a knife to cut away the rough outer bark and get to the softer white stuff. You can boil it to make it even softer, or cook it over an open fire to make a crunchy snack. And if you're really starving, you can look for ants. They might not be the most appetizing, but they're pretty nutritious. If you don't have a watch, you can use your fingers to find out how much time is left until sunset. Raise your hand so the inside of your palm is facing you. Your fingers should be between the sun and the horizon line. See how many fingers can fit in this space. The thickness of one finger equals about 15 minutes, so you can calculate the time left before sunset. If you're lost and need to build a fire to attract attention, throw in a lot of pine, cedar branches, cones, and any unnecessary rubber objects. Your fire will emit more black smoke, which makes it visible from afar. If you have no water in the desert but have some food, try to avoid eating for as long as you can. The more you eat, the more thirsty you'll get. The body needs liquid to digest food, so it'll use up what little you have. A person can live much longer without food than without water, so don't be afraid to stay hungry. Hey, you found a huge puddle of dirty water in the forest. If you're desperate for a drink, you can fill your bottle and filter it into drinking water. To clean it, make a rope of gauze or clothing. Put one end into the dirty bottle and the other one into the empty one. Before long, the clean water will flow into the empty bottle through the rope, while the impurities are left behind. Before hiking, replace your regular shoelaces with paracord shoelaces. If you don't have enough rope, these laces can give you a few extra feet in a pinch. If you're lost in the forest and have nothing to warm you, then take dry leaves and grass from the ground and put it between 2 layers of clothing. This will help you stay warm for a long time. When you're lost in the desert, try to move as little as possible during the day. Find a shadow or create it from improvised materials and sit in the shade until dark. At night, you'll spend much less energy and use up less fluid while you walk. This will help you to avoid the risk of a heat stroke. If you fall through some ice, don't try to get out like you would in a pool. If you put your hands on the ice and try to push yourself out with your arms, it could crack and make you fall back into the water. you need to stretch your arms parallel to the ice surface and stretch your legs way back so they float in the water. In this horizontal position, start waving your legs as if you're swimming. Move your arms carefully without putting too much weight on the ice, and you should be able to escape. If you need to build a fire while it's too windy, here's what to do. Dig 2 holes next to each other and create a small underground tunnel between them. Make a fire in one of the pits. The wind can't extinguish it, and the fire gets its air through the second pit. This method is also useful if you need to build a fire without drawing attention. In the dark, this kind of fire won't be visible. Don't throw away or pop bubble wrap. Take it on a hike with you. It will protect you from the cold better than even a thick blanket would. Those tiny air bubbles are perfect insulation. Just put it in between layers of clothing and it'll stop any warmth from escaping. The plastic it's made of is also waterproof, so it can stop you from getting wet too. Swimming in the sea not far from the shore, you can easily get swept up in rip currents. If this happens, the most important thing to remember is not to swim against the current. This will only waste your strength and sap your energy, and you're unlikely to ever overpower an ocean current. Instead, try to swim sideways along the shore. Sooner or later, you should get out of the current, and then you can safely swim to the beach. If you're stuck in a falling elevator, don't try to jump at the moment of collision. Don't take a sitting position or stand either. You need to lie on the floor, facing the ceiling. Spread your legs as wide as possible, cover your face with one hand, and put the other hand behind your head for protection. You reduce the pressure on your body in this position when you fall. Ooh, you're lost! A rescue helicopter flies over the forest, but you don't have a flare and don't have time to build a fire. Use a small mirror or phone screen to reflect the sunlight. Aim the light beam towards the helicopter. Rescuers should notice the glare and fly over to save you.
You already know the cookie crumbles under your doormat trick that can help you check if someone has come to your house, so you won't be surprised if you see special signs thieves leave. Those are the tricks we all know, and the internet is full of them. But imagine seeing a rogue trash bag roaming around on its own. One not-so-lucky homeowner got a surprise when they checked their CCTV and saw a mysterious trash bag sneaking over to their front door. To their horror, the bag-person combo ended up swiping a package from outside the house. The footage went viral, sparking outrage at the audacity of the porch pirate. People on social media were quick to condemn the thief's actions and question their moral compass. But while some were shocked and appalled by the thief's antics, others speculated that the whole thing might have been staged. The trash bag technique didn't shock you? Then imagine you roll up to your house after a long day at work, only to find that your entire driveway is gone. Sounds like a joke, but it happened to a girl in Florida. Where else? Like, not a single trace of concrete was left, just some tire tracks on the dirt. It turned out that the poor girl had got caught up in a sneaky scam aimed at ripping off home contractors. Crew members hired by a contractor, who ended up being a victim too, removed the girl's driveway. But the girl didn't hire them. They were tricked by a guy named Andre. The scam involved spotting houses for sale online, getting contractors to do work, sending overpayments, and then asking for refunds. Fortunately, a radio sponsor stepped in to help the girl get a new driveway, with funds raised going to charity. Just a friendly reminder here to be extra careful when using those handy drive-up blue mail collection boxes. Why, you ask? Well, because a couple of mail-stealing bandits have been caught red-handed recently. Even though these mischievous mail snatchers are still out there somewhere, the police have managed to recover their car. Inside, they found over 100 pieces of stolen mail from different cities. Footage from home cameras showed the frantic search that went down in the wee hours. The police were running around like crazy in alleys and yards near a post office on Coit Road, trying to nab those sneaky suspects. A postal inspector even tipped off the police after catching them in the act. Unfortunately, the thieves managed to slip away on foot, leaving the officers with nothing but a box full of pilfered envelopes. That's a bummer. But one suspect has been ID'd and arrests are on the cards. It's unbelievable, But thieves these days have the audacity to use ladders to break into second-story windows. Yeah, times are tough now, and the alarm systems on the ground floor are hard to dodge, so thieves had to get creative. The police are warning everyone to lock up tight. Apparently, there's been a spike in ladder-related break-ins around Metro Detroit. Your safety is in your hands. Those deterrent systems apparently only cover ground-level access in most cases, and many people just forget to lock their upstairs windows. You, go close your windows now! Now, look at this sneaky guy. The bandit is cruising around Manhattan on a bike, snatching phones from unsuspecting peeps on the streets and in parks. It's like a real-life phone robbery movie. To make matters worse, the criminal chose a very inconvenient day to rob people, as if there are convenient ones, duh. The robberies took place on Valentine's Day. First, they struck a 17-year-old outside Union Square Park, nabbing his phone and riding off. And then, later that day, the criminal stole a phone from a 53-year-old woman on the Upper East Side. This bandit is on a roll, hitting up multiple neighborhoods in Manhattan like a pro. The police were on the lookout for that phone-snatching guy wearing a yellow and black coat while on his crime spree. He struck again a couple of days later in Washington Square Park, swiping a phone from a 30-year-old woman. I don't know if he got caught, so just be more attentive holding your phone out in public. There was some buzz about criminals on mopeds, bikes, and electric bicycles pulling off snatch thefts lately. Some of these bad guys even dress up as delivery riders to sneak up on unsuspecting victims on the sidewalk. These crafty criminals like to hang around busy areas with lots of pedestrians. Tourists, students, you name it, they're all potential targets. Here are some quick tips to keep your phone safe. First off, be aware of your surroundings and try not to use your phone in public. Stay vigilant and watch out for bikes and mopeds cruising on the sidewalk. Also, hold off on whipping out your phone right after leaving a train or underground station. Don't forget to keep your phone locked and register with Immobilize for extra protection. For some extra security, write down your phone's IMEI number. Trust me, it can help. The thing is, it's this number that can help you to prove that the phone is yours at the police station in case it's been stolen. Let's say it's like fingerprints we humans have. It's unique. So no other phone has the same IMEI number. And most importantly, don't try to chase the thief down yourself. Let the police do their thing. London is currently in the middle of a watch theft epidemic, with 1,700 watches valued at £16 million, which is way over $20 million, snatched in just 5 months. Prices for these watches are skyrocketing, with some selling for 3 to 5 times their original cost on the pre-owned market. Luxury brands have long waiting lists, leading to a spike in stolen watch sales. Recovery experts track these stolen timepieces using unique serial codes. But criminal gangs are getting crafty, selling watches in places like the Far East, Dubai, and many others. Despite the challenges, there are stories of people who are reunited with their stolen belongings. Like, there's a lady who got her snatched Rolex back after 25 years, thanks to the watch register, showing that there's hope in the fight against watch theft. It's more of an exception, though. There's a dude in Auckland who had it up to here with thieves messing with his mailbox. The locks didn't stop them, so he got creative. He called the police, asked about putting a rat trap inside his box, and they said it was totally cool. After a few days, he spotted that the trap was missing. He found it sometime later. The goal of this performance was to sorta alert those who had been stealing the mail. But then the body corporate said no traps were allowed. The neighbors were split. Some thought he was a hero, others not so much. The body corporate said mail theft was a problem everywhere, not just there. They got all fancy with security measures and stuff. The police wouldn't chat about the whole rat trap situation, but they did offer some tips for preventing mail theft. Basically, don't send cash in the mail and try to be home when important stuff arrives. Simple, right? Thanks, Captain Obvious. Shoplifting is no joke. The National Retail Federation just revealed a whopping $112 billion lost to retail crime last year. But some stores are fighting back with high-tech wizardry. Meet Benny Tiapon, a grocer in Petaluma who's fed up with petty thieves. He's beefed up his security with fancy AI cameras that catch sneaky shoplifters in the act. In no time, the manager got alert labeled "Very Suspicious" on their phone. But Tiapan isn't the only one getting in on the anti-theft action. The University of Florida's Loss Prevention Research Council is cooking up all sorts of cool gadgets to stop thieves in their tracks. If they can make shoplifting a thing of the past, maybe we'll all get a discount at our local grocery stores. Hey, a little less crime means a little less coin spent on groceries, right? Let's all do our part to drive those thieving antics away.
Airports are some of the most visited and, at the same time, mysterious places out there. So, let's see what's going on behind the scenes and what secrets airports hide. At some airports, there are special people called profilers. Such people bring to life a special program called SPOT, Screening Passengers by Observation Technique. They analyze your mimics, gestures, and behavior in order to detect suspicious people. Their job is to notice nonverbal signs of anxiety, people licking their lips, itching, or looking around a lot. If a profiler notices a person acting in an unusual way, they can invite them for an inspection. There, they talk to this person, trying to find out more about them and confirm, or not, their suspicions. Airport agents might also be watching you all the way from the security check to your gate. Some airports have facial recognition scanners that can easily track you. They're equipped with special software that compares passengers' faces with their IDs. Keep in mind that if you don't charge your laptop before the flight, it may be confiscated. It's not uncommon for an airport security officer to ask you to power your device up. If you fail to do it, your gadget can be taken away for an additional check. For safety reasons, it's crucial to make sure that it hasn't been tampered with or modified in a way that can cause harm during the flight. Packing an electric brush in your check-in luggage may land you in trouble. Brushes produced by some brands have lithium batteries inside, and those can potentially lead to serious problems in the air. That's why leaving your electric brush in your checked suitcase isn't an option. But you're allowed to store them in your carry-on bag. At the same time, if your device runs on AA batteries, you can put it wherever you want. Anyone who's ever traveled by plane knows about the no liquids rule, but not everybody knows that this rule also applies to peanut butter, toothpaste, creams, lotions, liquid makeup, lava lamps, snow globes, some kinds of medications, deodorant, and even gel shoe inserts. Now, let's go outside for a while and look at those landing spots. Airports charge airline companies huge fees for landing on their runways on certain days and at particular times. But the most interesting thing is that the landing spots can be bought and sold. For example, in 2016, Oman Air paid Air France around $75 million for one early morning arrival slot at London Heathrow Airport. You must have noticed that airfare has increased over the past decade. That's because of the extremely high prices of landing slots. Dispatchers don't only control the planes in the sky, as you can often see in the movies, but they also look after their movements on the ground. They also control the lighting on the runways. There's 3 types of air traffic controllers: en route, terminal, and tower. Each of these dispatchers has their own area of responsibility. One dispatcher has about 5 monitors, and the information on them is constantly changing since the monitors show weather conditions and information about other planes. You know how it sometimes goes. You come to a security checkpoint, and all of a sudden, it turns out you have something prohibited in your carry-on. But worry not, you still have a chance to save your favorite penknife. At some airports, there are on-site postal services, and you might have an opportunity to mail your belongings to any address you provide. But the mailing fees are pretty high, plus certain items are prohibited, and the postal service won't deliver them. Airports can be selling your lost luggage right now. Of course, I don't say that there's no chance for you to get back your suitcases that's traveled to a different destination, but just as likely, you might not see it again. In this case, an airport has the right to sell your misplaced belongings at an auction. Most airports have an annual lost luggage sale. After paying an entry fee, you can bid on electronics, clothes, bags, and other stuff. While flying, you might have a celebrity on board, but you won't know it. Large airports have separate check-in and security procedures for celebrities. They often board the plane directly through a hidden door located beside the jet bridge. Some airlines also use cool cars to transfer VIP passengers from the terminal building to the plane. At the same time, most people come to the airport well ahead of time. And the most popular activity while waiting for a flight is wandering through the duty-free zone. And even though people rarely plan to buy anything there, different products end up in their shopping baskets. That's because lots of airports are designed in a special way that makes people feel relaxed and at ease. I'm talking about all those huge windows, a lot of light, massage chairs, and comfortable seating areas. And statistically, calm passengers are 10% more likely to spend money on retail, duty-free, and food. Designers put a lot of thought into airport layouts. It helps to ensure the smooth flow of travelers. And the main point here is easy navigation that can prevent people from getting lost. This is achieved through subtle but very effective design cues. And placing duty-free zones between security checkpoints and boarding gates is one of them. They supposedly help you relax after clearing security and lead you where you need to go. But speaking of food, a celebrity chef restaurant at the airport might not be as good as it would be if you were visiting the real thing. Not chefs themselves, but special restaurant companies are responsible for airport outlets. One of the reasons is the extremely strict security that surrounds airport deliveries, including food. You may still have a nice meal, but it won't be the same. Now, I'll tell you about one more way airports manipulate you into spending your money. They make you walk through the shiny duty-free stores straight after the security check. But the most curious thing is that the walkway through such stores usually veers to the left. That's done because most people are right-handed, which means they use their right arm to pull their luggage and are more likely to look to the right while passing through the stores. And the duty-free zone veering to the left leaves more space on the right, where passengers are more likely to look. Oh, and have you ever noticed how many mirrors there are at airports? Mirrors are strategically placed there to make airports appear larger and create an illusion of more space. This in turn helps to reduce the feeling of claustrophobia and makes the airport experience more comfortable for travelers. If you have an opportunity, don't exchange cash at the airport. You'll never get a good rate there. Those who didn't buy local currency in advance can instead order it online and collect it at the airport. Some services only need a few hours' notice for such an order, or it might even be better to use an ATM to withdraw some cash at your final destination. Now, have you ever paid attention to airport codes? The most often used are 3-letter codes. Why this number? Back in the 1930s in the USA, pilots used the National Weather Service's 2-letter city codes to refer to airports. But soon, the number of airports in the country outgrew the number of such codes. That's why airlines expanded this system by adding the 3rd letter. It was usually X. That's how LA, Los Angeles, turned into LAX. But even though there shouldn't be 2 airports with the same code, some of these codes sound so similar you could easily mistake one for the other. For example, look at this airport with the code CGP in Bangladesh. And here we have CPG. It's the code of an airport in Argentina. It's dangerously easy to fly to the wrong place, so pay attention. A boarding pass seems to have more than one option. Right after the crew checks it, use it wisely. Tuck one side of a boarding pass right under your phone cover, and the second side goes under the tray table latch. Sounds weird, but this Redditor tried it, and I guess he didn't have a boring flight thanks to this makeshift movie theater. Ever shop till you dropped so much you wished you had a couple of extra hands? The next time you set on a supermarket adventure, make sure to take a carabiner with you. This little guy will compensate for the lack of extra hands, so you'll carry everything you bought on that Black Friday sale with the 2 of your default hands. Just put all those plastic bags on a carabiner. To upgrade your experience, I strongly suggest you make a fabric grip. Any keen athletes here? This one's for you. If your pockets have no zippers or buttons and you don't want to lose keys, loose change, or whatever else you keep in your pockets while running, you need a rubber band. Just tie the pocket up from the inside, like this Redditor did. Also, it's a nice remedy for pickpocketing and loss paranoia. One more workout trick here. Sometimes, socks have inside seams which can give you blisters while running. No need to get rid of these socks and buy new ones. Just wear the ones you have inside out. This Redditor is a genius.
Oh, yeah.
In case you ever doubt if a $100 bill you're holding is real, you can use this magic trick. You see this blue authenticity line? It looks like it's woven inside the paper. Now, fold the bill in such a way that this blue line is in front of you and the paper is slightly bent backward. Grab a needle and try to insert it right under the flap that you see. If the bill is real, you'll see that there's actually a slit in your bill. Thing is, fake printed money can't normally have this feature, as in most cases they simply don't have the multiple layers to allow for this. The wet traces a plunger leaves on the floor are sorta gross, even if you rinsed it thoroughly. So next time it comes to your rescue, make sure to dry it afterward. The best way to do that is to rest it under the seat to dry. Ever seen these traps on shopping carts? You can repurpose them to keep your drink safe. Yeah, that's a bit barbarian. I wish there were special holders for that in each and every cart. For those who like to sleep in airport lounges, this one is a lifesaver. To protect your valuable hand luggage, just loop your bag through your foot. Yes, strapping it onto your leg or arm seems more effective. But it's not that all the bags have such a feature. You can use this life hack in other crowded places too. This Redditor does this trick in bars, and it seems to work just fine.
Oh, really?
There's also a trick on how to sift the flour in the fastest way possible. Surprisingly, you'll need a massage device for that. Look how fast you can do that, and no more shaking. A piece of an eraser can help you control your automated car windows better. This Redditor's dog was quite excited each time it got a ride, so it would accidentally push the window switch with a paw. The Redditor just put a well-fitted piece of eraser into that dimple and the problem was solved. Picture this. You have a sore throat. You consult a doctor and they prescribe you a throat spray that works wonders. There's only one downside to this. You just can't stand the taste. It's not a big deal, and a cotton swab can help you with that. Just apply the throat spray directly to the throat to avoid all the taste buds on your tongue. Not all people are big fans of plain black coffee. If you accidentally run out of milk or creamer, there's a life hack. Just add some ice cream to your drink instead. It will soften up the original coffee taste. Some candles tend to melt a hole into themselves. The more you burn it, the bigger this hole gets, and in the end, the wick gets burned out and there's still a lot of wax. To prevent it, you can make your candle a nice hat made of aluminum foil. Once you light the candle and put the cap on it, the heat will distribute evenly, melting all the wax.
Yes.
These glitches between skirting boards can be pretty annoying, and they can ruin the whole look of your room. You can cover these glitches with a piece of chalk, just like this Redditor did. You have this lovely set of cutlery your great-grandmother left you, but it faded with time and no dish soap managed to help. Hot water, baking soda, salt, and aluminum foil can help you. Just mix them all in one container and mind that the sheet of aluminum foil should simply be immersed in water. Then grab the cutlery and just dip it into the mixture. It works instantly. Look what a gorgeous result this Redditor had.
Really?
Duct tape can help you adjust your parquet without ruining it. If you ever see a slit and you need to move a parquet tile, grab some duct tape, stick it to the tile, and then pull. The tile will move to the place where it's supposed to be. To make the suction cups hold well, add a layer of Vaseline. This way, they will stick better, and next time that they don't hold, just reapply the Vaseline. A simple spatula may come in handy not only in the kitchen, but in a bedroom too. Next time you change bed sheets, use a spatula to tuck them in between the bed and the mattress. This TikToker swears by this life hack that helps make the bed the same way they do in hotels. Some people like collecting baseballs, but it's not that easy to display them on the shelf, as they tend to roll away. You can use bottle caps as baseball holders, just like this Redditor. In case you don't like the design of the caps, get creative and paint them. Tin cans with tomato soup and other stuff aren't the most convenient thing out there. Sometimes you only need a part of that jar, but the leftovers can't be stored properly once you open up the tin lid. A jar of Nutella is a lifesaver for such cases. Its lid fits perfectly on tin cans. Ever notice that accumulating sticky residue on the bottom of your laundry detergent cup? This one can be pretty hard to clean. So next time you do your laundry, just throw it in with the wash. You can actually put the laundry detergent cup inside the washing machine each time you use it. This way, the residue won't build up and the cup will always be clean. Let's imagine you have 2 hard disk magnets and a bag of chips. Are these things related? Absolutely. Yeah. Next time you're too full to finish the chips, secure the bag with 2 magnets. They will keep the air away when you decide to finish the bag. The taste will be the same. Don't throw away leftover soap bars. You can use it until the very end. This Redditor showed how they sort of weld the leftover bar with the new one, and these 2 guys stick to each other while lathering. If you don't find it convenient, you can go creative and make the liquid soap out of the leftovers instead. Once you've collected enough tiny bars, grate them, then melt them in a microwave oven, and then add some water. You can regulate the consistency yourself. The more water you add, the more watery the soap will get. You can also add a dash of liquid glycerin for extra moistening. Let the mixture sit for 24 hours, and there you have it, your DIY liquid soap. Who doesn't want to cut down on flight tickets when they're planning a trip? Here are some useful tips on how to get the best deals. Some cities like London and New York have more than one airport, so consider flying through alternate airports. Some of these airports are too far away from the city center. That's why tickets will be cheaper on the flights that land there. I tried this one myself. Well, I landed at a place that looked like a cargo airport, but hey, there was a bus from there to the city center. Pros, the ticket was cheap. Cons, I spent an extra hour on the road to get to the center. What's the prime day to book a ticket? That's a heated debate. Apparently, Tuesdays are better for booking a flight. More specifically, ticket fees at around 1:30 p.m. can be the cheapest. So, if you have plans to buy tickets for your dream vacation, go for a hunt on this specific day and time. There are great websites where you can compare flights and catch the cheapest ones, and I'll get to them soon. But don't ignore the official airline websites. Many of them announce private sales for those loyal customers who directly visit their pages. If your agenda allows you to play with your departure time, do that. Traveling on an early hour flight generally equals paying less for tickets. To catch a 6 a.m. flight, you have to get up when most of the people in the city are still enjoying their comfy beds. In the early hours, you might have problems with how to get to the airport. Not all public transport works 24 hours. Another problem would be your cat accidentally turning off your alarm. This is why these flights generally come cheaper. The same principle applies to late-night flights too. People generally don't want to fly after midnight, so prices drop accordingly. Look at the bright side. You have more time to wander around once you get to your destination. Flying with a connection is another way. It's a fairly cheap option, especially on longer haul flights. This method has a downside. Your plans can be changed with one word: delay. You might have to say goodbye to your connecting flight. Another thing you can do with connecting flights is to search for flights from the same country. Tourist destinations, megacities, and capitals are generally more expensive. Travel to a smaller city and then depart to your destination. Many of us love cookies, but probably not the ones in our browsers. Staying incognito in the flight searching process will help you get cheaper flights. How? Ticket prices depend on demand, so companies use the data on how many people search for which tickets. Let's say you look for tickets to London and regularly check the airline website to get a good deal. Your data signals that you have shown an interest in particular dates and a location. That's how you see that same flight suddenly gets more expensive. The airline knows that you're likely going to buy it. This can happen even if you refresh your browser. Either stay unidentified or clear your cookies to take yourself out of this situation. Remember I recommended that you visit the airline websites directly? You can also sign up for alerts on price drops. If you think notifications are annoying, even though they are useful, you can follow airlines on socials. Many companies use their social media accounts effectively, and they sometimes give customers some last-minute deals. In some cases, it's convenient to book tickets over the phone. For example, if you're in a group. Be aware though that some airlines add extra fees for completing a booking via a call. It can be as much as $50. You could get a day trip on your vacation with that money instead of spending it on words. If you must complete a booking by call, simply ask the person if they're going to charge you some additional fees for calling. While searching for a ticket, you can pretend you're in a different location. The best option is to change your location to the country you'll visit or the airline's home country. Let's say you'll go to Japan. Booking from the airline's website and changing your location via VPN would be the key to seeing lower prices. I said that I'd get to the flight comparison sites topic, and here I am. These websites are gems for giving you the best fares from several airlines and options. They recommend alternative routes that you haven't considered. Yet again, before clicking the confirm button, take a few seconds to check the airline's website. Booking directly and cutting out the middleman's fee can be a wiser option. The other potential benefit is reliable customer service. With some airlines, booking via a third party will turn this process into a tangled headphone cable like there's no tomorrow. I'll share a strategy for getting an entire row for yourselves. Imagine you're traveling with your BFF. One of you should book the window seat and the other one book the aisle seat. Other passengers will likely go for other seats and avoid the middle seat. This method cannot always work though. If the plane is fully occupied, there'll be some unlucky person in between you. If someone books that middle seat, you can always offer them the aisle or window seat and continue to sit with your BFF. The second option is booking seats in the 13th row. Well, 13 doesn't have a good reputation as it is superstitiously considered unlucky. Chances are, no one else books a seat from this particular number. This one is a gift to you for all your efforts to get the best possible deal. Good job you're in the airport. You're watching your favorite show while waiting for the gate to open. Boom! An hour of free airport Wi-Fi is over. Here's a loophole to double it. Roll back the time on your device. When you change the time zone back an hour, the system won't understand it and it'll allow you to use it for another hour. My 14th point is about safety. Did you know that you shouldn't swap seats before the plane takes off without letting the flight attendant know? This rule applies to changing your seat with a person from a different row, not to the person next to you. This can cause the plane to make an emergency landing. The reason is related to weight and how it's distributed. Every plane has a takeoff weight limit. This number comprises things like fuel, luggage, and passengers. Flight attendants look out for the potential weight distribution. A pilot explains it like this. If you move some seats without asking them, you might cause an imbalance on the plane. If you ask the flight attendants if you want to change seats, they'll let you do it after takeoff. I mean, people get up and move in the plane all the time, so this isn't like you can't change your position at all, but it can be dangerous to do so without confirmation. Here's a fun fact. The black box, as its nickname, is not black. It's bright orange. Flight Data Recorder is its official name, and it's orange so that in case of an accident, the rescue team can spot it easily. Where do you think is the dirtiest place on the aircraft? Not toilets, not seat holders, it's table trays. There are more. The cozy blankets you ask for from the flight attendants aren't so clean either. According to a report, some airlines wash their blankets only once a month. Now that you know the tricks, you can plan your trip at a perfect price and maybe bring your own blanket to the plane. Sit back and enjoy the flight. Good things come to those who wait. From the iconic golden fries to a broken ice cream machine, here are 10 fast food secrets that the fast food industry doesn't really want you to know. Chicken nuggets. Those golden crispy bites you can get from fast food chains. They're even on the menu of school lunches. What if I tell you that they aren't actually made entirely out of chicken? Researchers took chicken nugget samples from unnamed fast food chains and analyzed them. They said that one sample, for instance, contained only 40% and another 50% of meat. The rest? Well, you're eating mouthfuls of things like fat, connective tissue, and bone spicules. Many fast food companies grind the meat with that stuff. They make mechanically formed orbs of chicken parts. Why? Perhaps it's because this method is cheaper and more profitable. Millions of restaurants worldwide have chicken nuggets on their menu. So, scientifically, it's not fair to say all nuggets are made this way, but a lot of studies imply so. The more the meat is processed, the more you lose the good stuff, like vitamin B6 and B12. The bitter truth is that companies add stuff, such as sodium, to the mixed paste. Sodium is added to get a better flavor. It's one of the ingredients that makes nuggets so yummy. Our bodies need sodium, but not too much of it. Unfortunately, most junk food contains more than our bodies can handle. So it might be a safe option to avoid eating these sorts of foods frequently. Chains dip their nuggets into tempura batter and fry them in hydrogenated oil. That's also not a green light regarding health, but this is how they catch the golden tint. They put additional stuff in nuggets. What about grilled chicken? In recent years, we've seen brands highlighting grilled chicken as a healthier option. Research has been done about grilled chicken too. And the same approach is applied here. Take chicken samples from iconic fast food companies and send those to labs for analysis. The results show that companies are misleading people by advertising these products by labeling them as healthy, natural, and 100% chicken breast. In reality, a couple of things are added to the meat to make it tender and juicy. Plus, these additives make it easier to cook the meat, freeze and transport it, and reheat it later without losing too much moisture. The drawback of all these additives is that they affect the nutritional value of the chicken breast. These ingredients aren't the healthiest for us. We should especially watch out for 3 things. The first one is again sodium. Fast food samples had 7 to 10 times more sodium than home-cooked chicken breast. Imagine you have a cheeseburger, but you say no to yourself and try to pick a less harmful menu item. Yet, some chicken sandwiches have the same amount or even more sodium than a cheeseburger with medium fries. The second thing you need to watch out for is phosphate additives. These additives allow the protein to conjoin more water. This means the white meat in the sandwich will appear juicier to you. Any word you see in the ingredients section that contains phos is a phosphate additive, so it's best to avoid them. The last thing you should avoid is sugars and starches, not just in grilled chicken, but pretty much in all fast food products. Oh, that's hard to digest, I admit. Cornstarch, sugar, malt, they come with grilled chicken breast. Buns and even some fries have sugar too. Everywhere I look, it's sugar. You see, home-cooked chicken has 0 grams of carbs, but the study samples had added sugar and up to 10% of the calories in the chicken breast comes from there. So what's the moral of this story? If you're a health-conscious diner, you should maybe go for other options. There are secret recipes from companies like KFC and Coca-Cola. No company wants to share the ingredients that make their food irresistible, but with a little research, you can decipher many things. You want to know the secret of McDonald's fries? It's written on their website. They add beef flavoring to the frying oil. This may sound weird, but apparently, that's a known practice amongst chefs and restaurants. Duck fat has also been used as a flavor, for example, in high-end restaurants. I'm a fries lover, so I added another fact about fries. Sadly, they're even saltier than you think. Experts suggest that a grown-up should consume at most 2,300 milligrams of sodium daily. Guess the McD's large fries sodium number. At least 400 milligrams. Classic fries from Burger King have 732 milligrams. And Five Guys take the level even higher with 962 milligrams of sodium. Next time, maybe you can ask workers to go easy on the salt as a solution. Picture this. You're in a hurry, but your tummy says, "Feed me, or I'll affect your mood and make life miserable for you." For a quick snack, you enter a fast food chain restaurant. You order your favorite burger. It looks and smells as if it's just been taken from the grill and served. Nope. They have different types of grills designed for this that can cook meat super quickly. Sorry to bear the bad news, but those perfect grill marks on your burger aren't real tools. The factory adds them. If you want to know how clean an eatery is, look under the ice chute of the soda machine in places where you can get your own drink. There you go, Inspector. You solved the case. Various studies say that if such machines aren't cleaned correctly, dirty, contaminated ice can lead to some health problems. There could be mold or bacteria there. Ew. The process of cleaning ice machines isn't easy. The same thing applies to ice cream machines too. Rumor has it that those ice cream machines aren't out of order. Employers just cannot find time to clean them properly. Now, what's the best time to get a good and fresh meal? Here are two opinions, and they both have solid reasonings. The first team recommends avoiding ordering grilled food in chains from 7 to after midnight. Many former employees say that sometimes they had taquitos or hot dogs prepared at around 4 or 5 a.m., but kept waiting to serve them till around midnight. That's not healthy. The other team says you should order between 11 a.m. and 1 p.m. or between 6 p.m. and 8 p.m. to get the freshest meal. Since it's going to be around lunch and dinner time, there'll be circulation and you can get decent food. Fast food companies have marketing, design, and psychological tricks to lure you in and make you order. Yet, they don't want you to stay inside for too long. If you were dining in mood lighting, you know under dim lamps and candlelight, you would take your time to eat. As the name suggests, you should be fast like your food in chain restaurants. They have fluorescents and they're in full light. Similarly, the floors and tables have reflective surfaces that make food look nice and bright. Plus, music is usually fast and loud. It's done to prevent you from spending hours there. Yet, they want you to take advantage of the first 20 minutes after your purchase. The faster you eat, the longer it will take you to feel full. Scientists say it takes about 20 minutes for our stomachs to inform our brain, "Okay, now I'm full." It's a good idea to eat in a clean area, but most of these companies are using cleaning products that have super strong chemicals. Assume that the staff cleaned the place at the end of their shift. They wiped down the soda machine and grill surface, and then you showed up early the next day. You may get some of that chemical residue on your food compared to other customers visiting the place later in the day. The vegan patty may not be 100% vegan. I'm talking about the grill, not the meat itself. In most of the chains, vegan burgers are cooked on the same grill as meat burgers. Do you have fast food chain secrets you want to share? Tell them to fellow Brightsiders in the comments.
That's it for today. So hey, if you pacified your curiosity, then give the video a like and share it with your friends. Or if you want more, just click on these videos and stay on the bright side.